What's going on, Husker fans? Big game today, an important game. Just kidding. Gary thinks we're going to lose, though. Ain't that right, Gary?
Yeah, I put all of my money on Northern Iowa money line.
Now, am I talking to regular Gary or am I talking to green screen Gary? Because you sound more like green screen Gary.
Well,
That's a whole different type of Gary.
I don't usually like to brag. You gonna watch the fights tonight, UFC, or do you
Don't
ever
ask
watch them?
stupid ass questions
Yeah,
that
I'm
aren't
sorry. That
Husker
was dumb. That was
related.
dumb. That was
God
just a
damn
joke.
it. We
That was
just
just a joke.
start and
I
you're
was just kidding.
squawking.
Yeah. It was just
Actually,
it was
what
a
you
goof.
UFC? Boxing.
Jesus Christ.
Because I'll beat all their asses. You know what I'm
You
saying?
would.
I don't care who it is.
Not UFC.
Who's fighting?
Everybody.
It's like a Royal Rumble, UFC style? You just got to throw each other out of the octagon?
Yep.
Holy, I'll watch. Now, is it scripted? Because I want it scripted.
It's 100% scripted.
Good. We
You
might
have
be
to
able
ask
to get
Vegas.
we might be able to get Sundo into this, but we'll talk about that later. Yo, we got 24 watching. What's up, Snaky YT? What up, Corey? What up, East Metro, Baby Boy Metro? We got living in Omaha, Dave Matney in the house, Aeon, Tiger Shark. If you guys are just joining us, man, thanks for coming and hanging out. This should be a fun, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl type game. Maybe she's made with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. But we should be getting the win, Gary.
Well,
Easily.
should. I'm more worried about covering and looking impressive.
There you go. We need to look impressive.
Not because
That's
of
all it is.
betting, but I mean, like,
I'll tell
people
you
pay
why.
attention to that shit now, especially when you got, what did Washington lose to Washington State? Oklahoma was struggling for a little bit with Tulane. Iowa looked like they might dump one to Troy, and then they ran away with it. Who else lost? Didn't somebody else lose?
Oklahoma beat Tulane. So what do you think we would bounce up to if we have a good performance?
Probably 2 or 3.
South Carolina hung in there with LSU.
They should have won. They missed on the last second field goal.
Damn. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. If you haven't had a second to hit that like button yet, please check, see if you've hit it. It really helps grow the stream. And it'd be fun to have a big stream, but we're not really counting on it or caring about that against you and I. Just excited to watch our guys go out there and compete, continue to get better, continue to look good, Gary.
Good.
You know? I mean, this Panthers team can run the ball. Maybe not on us. I hope not on us.
I say they attempt a lot of runs.
That'll be interesting, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Are we just going to force them into a lot of 3 and outs?
I hope it's just a quick pounding. I'd really like to see some of the other guys.
Hey, yo, and pause. Go on.
Well, you know what I like to watch.
Not participated. You just like to be the one watching.
No, yeah, I'm not involved in anything like that. No shenanigans for me.
Wow. What up, Good Life Films? Ian said FSU lost. Did you say that?
No, that was one of the other ones I was trying to think of. But they're bad.
What up, Vacophobia? 1:30 in the morning there? Man. Where are you at? Oh, is he the one in Germany? Where are you at again, Vacophobia? Corey says, this is another reason I like this game. How can we stop the run against a team that knows they are doing with the run? Knows what they are doing with the run. Yeah. It'd be a lot more impressive. I mean, so Gary said it perfectly. For the first time in his life, he said something credible. In the last preview, he was mentioning that this is like a perfect. It almost seems on purpose, bro. They were like, can we find a team that is a tune-up game but plays like a Big Ten team? And they're like, UNI. They'll give you
Especially
that
after
flavor. Mm-hmm.
I was just say, especially after having two spread teams or sideline to sideline deep threat type offenses to prep for.
Quick question about Oregon. Do you think that Oregon only beat Oregon State because that's like a familiar opponent, or do you think that they're getting their grounding and they're going to be cooking Big Ten opponents?
Both. And Oregon State's quarterback is gone from last year that did work. I don't know, man. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit with Brady when we were gaming.
Tom Brady. We video game with Tom Brady.
I wasn't going to name drop, but since you did.
Go on.
I would be surprised if those Pac-12 teams look super impressive the first year or so in the Big Ten. Deeper in the season, you know what I mean? They start playing some more cold weather games, teams that pound the ball. It's a lot of, I don't know. I feel like their style, them and USC both, if they can't score, they go a couple consecutive 3-and-outs. It's just they're going to have to, kind of like us when we came from the Big 12.
Chris Isaac said 8 sacks by half. Probably not, only because I don't know if they're going to throw it 8 times.
Yeah, I doubt.
Northern Iowa.
Close to starting this game?
Yeah, they ain't even come out yet.
23, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Along with Yogi Roth, I'm Guy Haberman, and as if everybody didn't already know Yogi, put this place on your
This is a moment for this program. The first time in a while they've had this type of juice, and you can feel it in town. You can surely feel it with this fan base right behind us.
There is no doubt Memorial Stadium is an absolute monster, but maybe they have the team to live up to it.
Here we go.
This stadium's about to get
Let me get out the way here.
to see their team.
He's pressure, gets hit, goes down.
You're a legend.
Well,
you don't have to.
No. Gives it off to Dante, has another team, 10-5. Touchdown. Pulls the pocket to the near side, throws toward the end zone as a man.
Chris is in Buffalo, New York. That's what's up.
Hey.
Gary's a big old Buffalo Bills fan.
Long time. Many a heartbreaks. We were going to try to go up there for the Chiefs game this year.
The stadium filled once again, and here comes Nebraska from the belly of the beast.
And Chris, which is colder overall, Buffalo or Omaha, or Nebraska in general?
I heard there was this lady that was from there when we went to one of the Chiefs games. We went to the last 3 Chiefs-Bills games down here. And she's like, it doesn't get as cold for as long up there as it does here. She's like, but the snow is insane. I don't know if everybody has that opinion, but
He said Buffalo.
Buffalo's colder.
Yeah.
Longer.
Let's go. Baby boy Metro, you're learning about a real college blue blood.
Watch them be down 28 to 30.
Right.
Wow. We're going to go down to the sideline. The third member of our broadcast team, Rhett Lewis. Hopefully he can hear us. He's with the head coach, Matt Rhett. Rhett?
Coach, the buzz around
If this cord falls down again during this stream, it's your ass. Just a heads up.
Never left.
Let me put my mic up to Matt Rhett.
Your team.
This place is humbling. Our student section is humbling. Our fans are
Don't
humbling.
eat it,
I
Matt.
compared the guys this whole week, like, it'll be hard to recreate last week, and I told them I was wrong. Our fans
ain't
are
gonna
amazing.
work.
They've been loyal for a long time, and all we can do is say thank you with the way that we play.
Coach, your freshman quarterback, Dylan Raiola, has passed every test thus far. What's allowed him to
Husker
meet
Nation
moments
says
like
Nebraska
these
is
so
back.
quickly
I
in his
want to
career?
say that, Husker Nation, but we got to
Humility and
wait
great work ethic.
till
It's never
Big
about him,
Ten
it's always
play,
about
I
the team.
think.
It's always about his craft.
Can we
and,
beat?
no one works harder.
Illinois first before we even think about that statement.
Great perspective.
We probably shouldn't say that statement after Illinois, right? Gary.
All eyes are on him.
Where are you at on the? I'll answer your stupid questions later. Where you
Well,
at?
you
on
can.
the
So great. These people
screen?
know what great football looks like. They're used to it.
Oh, I guess
And
I
they
could
know
go
the
back
last
to
time
the
they
camera.
had
I
it,
could put you on. I
had a
could
15
stream this in
quarterback.
Discord
they
so you can
got
kind of see.
another one. I love what Coach Rule said to
It
Red
doesn't
there about
matter.
his humility. I
where
call it
was
the
that?
it
Oh, down
factor.
here.
When he walks into a room,
You want to
people
just
feel
get
good,
lined up on the first
and
snap?
he makes them better. He is a
You want to do that, or you
dynamic
just want to
Yeah, let's
stream
do it on
yours in
first snap.
Discord, and I'll watch it on there
19-year-old young
too.
man. He's not a finished product. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you
maybe I
what,
could do that
he
for you.
completes more
I mean, if you do
balls
that,
than
then
a
we're
lot of
not as
quarterbacks
far
would
behind
even
everybody else because there's
attempt.
already a
Unique
delay on
arm
YouTube.
talent, his teammates love him, and
And then if we
thankfully, for a
delay
true
it
freshman,
to keep
he
up with
does
my
not
slow
have
ass
to do it
internet, it's
alone.
like a
No,
long
he doesn't have to do
delay.
it against his defense like he did in the spring, which was miserable for him. Both he and that
All right,
defense
it's streaming
stepped
in
up big last
Discord.
week.
Hopefully, it's good for you.
That's a good bitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please let me keep being involved in the channel, sir.
Today for Northern Iowa is how are you going to defend one of those linebackers that become a defensive
Oh,
lineman?
no.
Because they come
Where'd the game
from
go?
all over the field. They come from depth. Sometimes you'll see here with these
Yeah.
three linebackers, they'll come up to the line of scrimmage. You think they're coming from over the center.
don't know what I did.
Nope, they're coming outside, and they make
Oh,
the door
because
center
I
feel
sent
like
it
he's
to
playing
you.
against 13 defenders.
LMAO.
But the defense does not work unless you've got a dynamic player at safety. They call it the rover.
And there it went back
Isaac
on screen.
Gifford, the homegrown
Ugh.
safety. He plays deep
You got
safety,
YouTube
he'll come
TV?
down the run, and he's not afraid to
Me?
be physical.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah,
this
I'm watching
defense
it. I was
is
just saying
at
so I
its
don't have
best,
to. So you don't have to slow
I
yours
think we
down
would be
to-
on the same timing if you were on your computer watching it.
In Discord?
No, but like your own, just sign in and watch it on your computer screen.
I don't know this line.
Because it is
What are we doing? Who are you talking
Gotta
to?
ask your wife.
Nebraska defense.
No.
Dylan Raiola is firing everybody up. Northern Iowa won the toss. And
Let's
deferred.
go,
So
Mr.
Nebraska
Raiola.
was
136 watching. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Please hit that like button if you haven't had a chance to. It really helps grow the
So
stream.
great to
I
hear
suspect
Matt
you guys
Rule
were
just
hitting the
said
like
he
button,
wondered,
and that's why
would
we
the
got over
energy
100
be as
people in
great
here.
as it
Thank
was
you.
last week? So much hype. All
Good
eyes
Lives.
on
I will get
Nation
you a
on Colorado and
Discord
Nebraska,
link,
and
actually.
this
We
place
need to
delivered,
start
and you
having
can
people
feel
come
the
back.
juice
What up, Brian
We
Hayes?
have to use it once in a while. We don't
Yeah,
do it.
we're not in there, but if we had more people in there, it's just us and Corn Man at this point.
Where are you at on yours?
I'm going to tell you where I'm at when I'm good and ready.
I'm on third down.
Take it for granted. That is another reason why they have showed out.
Imagine.
Northern Iowa made the 5 or so hour drive from Cedar Falls.
All right. Kick off.
And Ja'Cory Barney's going to let this fly. And Nebraska will start with its offense on the
Touchback.
25-yard line. Turned 19 years
Am I ahead of
old
you
in
now?
May. Dylan Raiola was in 8th grade
sorry, I
the
wasn't
last
paying
time
attention. I was,
Nebraska ranked. His numbers through 2 games.
I'll
3
let it slide.
touchdowns,
I know
no
you're new to this
interceptions,
whole
no
YouTube
fumbles.
I
thing.
guess that's not going to work. I don't know what that
Is
code
one of the
is.
biggest
Don't
elements
hit that,
that's allowing
people.
him to have the success, and he's not trying to do too much within this offense. Today, I think we anticipate. They always have a nice opening script. I'd imagine a little quicker tempo.
Okay,
today,
so
trying to keep
first
him
snap, I'll tell
in
you,
the
okay?
rhythm all
We'll see
game
where
long.
we're at.
Dante Dowdell, he was a battering ram last week. He's the running back behind Raiola, and he takes the first carry of the
Tackled.
day.
Sorry, I
And he
missed it.
punishes a defender after a pickup of about
Not even-
4.5.
Okay, so we're not that bad?
Make no mistake
like a
about
5-yard
it,
gain.
the
All
right, I'm gonna pause it
DNA
on the-
traits
on the,
are all about being a physical
snap.
out at the line of scrimmage. They want to run the football. They want to get a lead. and
That
they
was a
want
link to our
close this
Discord,
thing
but it
out
was like
because
the
of line of scrimmage
password
of the
or
run game.
something? I don't know. All right, I'm pausing on the snap, so be ready to tell me. Snap.
Raiola will
You
give it
snapped?
to Dowdell again,
No.
and he scores
Okay, I'm a little
more,
ahead of y'all.
and he
I'll pause
picks
it
up
again.
a first down.
This is an offensive line that has such
Big
veteran
boy
play
Dowdell,
defense. Got it. So
my
look at the
guy.
offensive line.
Shaboy.
Just pushing. That's that offseason program. They know they're going to go as far as they can protect their quarterback and allow them to run the football to set up the play action game.
No Micah
Motion. Snap.
Snap.
at right guard today. Henry.
And we're going to hit Fedoni. Get him, Fedoni. Run somebody over. There we go.
Thomas
Put my
Fedoni,
guy's knees there.
and he'll bring
Yeah.
up a second down and short.
I'd love to see Fedoni get like,
player at the tight end position.
you know,
7 catches for 203 tutties.
That's the exact stat line I was thinking.
Is he going to run block? Is he going to be
Seems
a lead
realistic.
blocker for a running back, or is he going to come out the back door and catch the ball? To me,
All right,
the
man.
offense
I don't want.
through
I'm not
games
saying
goes
this
through number
as a
24.
knock at all.
Great to see him out there moving. You see that.
But doesn't it seem like every short pass Raiola throws behind the guys,
But he tells us he's in the
they're always
best
having to lean back, reach back?
I'll have to start paying
Backwards.
attention. Hand off, and he's
Nice
gonna.
tackle.
Oh! Nice broken tackle, and
Nice
fight
tackle.
for the first down. Let's go.
Keep an eye on these
So
wide
ESPN's.
from the back end. Watch at the top of
I'm
your
sorry about
screen.
this game
Right
cast,
there.
guys.
Look at that
ESPN
wide
is
receiver. Just continue to get after Jamal Banks.
not paying
This
attention to the
receiving
Huskers
group has
right
been
now.
challenged all week
It'll be
to
up as soon
respond
as
from
ESPN
what was a
gets it
poor
taken care
performance
of.
blocking
Like to
downfield
hate
against
on us.
Colorado.
Yeah.
And through the first few snaps, you're seeing them stick their
They're
nose in
busy,
there,
you know,
unlike
getting
how
ready
it
for the
was a week
Colorado
ago.
game.
Raiola.
Raiola drops back, throws it middle of the field. Good throw.
Now,
And that's my guy, Ja'Cory
He's
Barney
leading.
Jr.
From Florida City, Florida.
I don't know how
And they
good
can't
the
wait to
throw
get him the
was.
ball as much as possible tonight. Pick up a 14.
What? He hit a wide open guy softly. What do you want?
Right over the top.
I mean, it'd be
When you
nice
talk
to hit
about
guys
that,
in
is getting
stride
the
instead of
ball
having them
up
spin
and
backwards or
down.
run back to the ball.
Perfect.
That's true.
Like
That's
we
true.
did last week, or the 2 or
That's
3
true.
handy catches backwards the guys
Of the
had.
day.
Another
He is a
first down.
freshman.
For sure. That's what I said. I'm not like shitting on him. I'm just saying, like,
Raiola.
let's work on
Here goes
that.
Raiola to
Like that.
shut Gary's bitch ass up.
And that's out of
Didn't
bounds.
Out of
Didn't do
bounds.
it.
Well, clearly that's what you want.
He's thinking, man, if I could have just, if you gave me room to throw it 4 yards behind you, I'd have dotted you.
When you're a healthy program guy, you've got competitive depth. The guys that practice the best are the guys that are going to play. And they said he has a smile every day when he's practicing. Loves to compete.
Heinrich Harburg is now in the game.
Sandito
Besides
Harburg in the game as an H-back. Shut up.
Sandito's message. There's
Hand it
nothing
off.
more
Hand it.
important.
Oh, come on. I want to see Harburg carry it.
But they thought they were
Carter
ready for it.
Nelson,
That's a
I'll
good play
take
call.
that, bro. I'll take getting Carter Nelson
Look
involved.
at all of them ran over to go.
ever 11-man football game.
That's a
He
good
does
play
such a
call.
nice job.
That ref can get out of the way if
Anytime.
you ask me.
You're not
I'd be
missing
fine
any
with
plays
that.
that calls that important.
Carter Nelson, if it weren't for Raiola, Nelson would have been the
Bottling up
top-ranked
the middle of the field.
prospect in this class. Now Harburg is split out at the top of the screen. Again, that's the
All right, still got Harburg in the game as a
that.
tight end right now.
Colorado offense.
No,
right
he's
here.
as a receiver. Please hit Harburg.
tight ends in the game as well.
Come on.
Raiola with
Get in there.
Great throw.
Get in there.
And he's into the
Atta
end
baby.
zone for the first
Who is
time
it?
in
I
his
can't see the
career.
number.
It's Carter Nelson.
Is it?
Carter Nelson, baby.
Good shite.
He's at 29. Let's go.
Got to watch for Bailey in the students. Oh, no, she's not in the student section.
She's got a fan that says, "Shut up, Gary."
Yeah. She's like, he is not my dad.
Guys, we got 323 watching. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. If you guys could just hit that like button if you haven't had a chance to, it would really, really help the stream grow. Let's get back to this game, and there's your field goal. Well, extra point.
For
Don't
those of
correct
us
me.
playing football
Don't you
before,
ever
that's
correct me.
And the kick from Alvano is through. What a moment for Carter Nelson.
Whew. I got to be honest. I was worried. Like
Ryan
when you-
Riley, are you from Ainsworth? Go ahead.
Okay, so Riley, this will, maybe Ryan.
I'm
Riley,
sorry
maybe
I
you'll
interact
understand
with
this.
the people watching.
You're more of a people person.
I don't really
You know?
react because I don't have the chat up half the time. But go on.
I was a little worried that how could the hype for Carter Nelson not be slightly overblown if he's never played 11 on 11? But who am I to argue with all these smarter
With me,
football?
who are you to argue?
Who am I to argue with
That's what
you?
meant to say. That's
A
what you're
real
trying to say.
alpha male.
We understand.
You
You're still
know,
learning.
I don't know.
You're still learning what encroachments and offsides and
That's
field
true.
goals and extra points. What
That's
up,
true.
Chris?
Ooh, so now I see Sandito in the house. What up, Chris? Metro says I see Gary drinking tea, but what are you drinking? I got
Regular tea. I don't like
black
sweet
coffee and water. Sparkling though. Does that give me any bonus points?
For Nelson.
Here's the
This is
kickoff.
population 1,600 in this building today. A fair catch on the kick from Brian Boucher.
J.K. Michael said 12:46 in England. Thanks for having this up. Go Big Red. Hey, thank you, J.K.
2-0, ranked 21st in FCS
Shout out
football, done a fourth-year
to
junior
England.
who only threw 11 passes in his first 3 years. There you see his first 2 games were
He ain't
like
got
Raiola.
Fiji
He is not.
money.
Fiji
Yeah,
is
that's
good.
why he needs-
Fiji is good.
That's why he needs everybody hitting like.
I kind of think Liquid Death's better than Fiji. I think it's like the only water better.
The yard for Aiden Dunn, but it has not been the case throughout the early
Kenny
portion
Powers,
of
let
the
us
season.
know if
It's more
anything
of a
good's
ground raid,
happening.
if you will. They want to run the
Rushmore.
football. They know in this game against
Wish
Wish I could
Nebraska's high-powered
dual screen
offense,
that.
on the previous drive.
Ooh, ESPN just took care of us.
Control the clock, slow the
And
game
we're getting a
down.
chicken commercial, but we're going to get some
They're big back
scoreboard here.
tackles.
Listen to this crowd, dude. You'd
Come
think
on, D.
Colorado was still out there.
Pounded the rock. Now here comes the noise.
Probably realize
Time in this game.
the impact is not get it nice. Probably realize the impact they can have after last week. They've been lulled to sleep for the last 5 years.
That is Deshaun Singleton. This is a defense without
I think they need to put a stat on the scoreboard, a stat section for how many offensive penalties the crowd causes. Because if you could see yourself putting numbers up on that board, that would be crazy. That would make me scream twice as loud. I don't think I can. Shotgun. Got a little handoff. Nope. Little play action. They're going to get that foist down.
Rip it.
He tried.
Yeah, but somebody needs to get the tackle when somebody else ripping.
man at Northern Iowa. We
Hold,
do have a penalty.
please.
And here's Jerry Cervinsky.
Ineligible man.
Eligible player downfield. Offense number 7.
Bailed out.
Yeah,
5-yard penalty.
they're
Still
selling out
second
for the
down.
run.
Illegal man downfield.
Luis Munoz from Adelaide, Australia in the house. What's going on, Luis? How are your Adelaide 36ers looking this year?
Easy call by the officials.
3 yards is what you get. So now after a first down play, throwing the ball, it's second down and 12.
Ooh, we got Brisbane, Australia in the house. What's up, Michael?
FCS teams, when they play FBS teams this year, have the option to use the helmet
Get out of your way.
communications that are new to college football this year. Northern Iowa is not using it, although in this place it may not help anyway. Done. There he finds over the middle and open. Going to get some of that yardage back from his
Well, Thompson
tight
got
end,
the
Lane Pryor.
Mackay Bayer start.
Lane Pryor is one of the key players in this game, especially the passing game. That rule knows they got to slow down the tight end. And for every quarterback, that tight end is something you're constantly looking for when you're facing an aggressive defense. Be curious to see what this defense dials up on the third down.
I want to see Hutmacher get back there.
Amari Hickson, the transfer from Kansas, in the game at running back.
Flag could be a free play.
Maybe for them. He's usually that early. Flags usually.
Yeah.
Out to the 45-yard line, and we'll check on the penalty.
I think it's going to be offsides on Nebraska, just trying to get off on the
Offside.
snap.
I'm not loving the defense so far. This opening drive.
Penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
17 yards on that first down conversion.
And then the second and third row.
It's a really nice job
Doing
of
fine,
trying to
but
get him out the back door.
Traven, Big Ten Network, I believe.
Movement throws are going to be his
Everywhere.
best friend, especially on the ones that are long and developing. Nice job finding his back. A little flare.
They are moving the ball.
Yeah.
For this Northern Iowa team, just surviving this first quarter in this crowd.
Smart on them to actually pass the ball a little
Maybe
bit.
a little exhale there. Back to Pesic.
There's a
Hickson.
handoff, and he's going to
able
get
slip away
two.
from the
Three?
man,
Two?
Cameron Lenhard, who's getting
Two.
the start today in place of Jamari Butler. Tommy Hill there to finish it off, just a gain of 2.
You know, it was interesting talking to Matt Rule this week about this game. He said, we're facing
What's up,
traditional
Terry's?
Big Ten
Ooh, we
teams.
got
They're gonna
Japan
wanna
in the
run
house.
football.
What's
They got
going on,
multiple backs
Christian?
that will run the football, then they'll take their shots down the field. And this linebacking core has taken that personal, as has the front seven. And they know the key to this game for Nebraska.
Yeah,
is they have
Mackay
to
Bayer.
stop the
I believe
run.
he's suspended. Where the hell did Gary go?
Almost 300 yards per game in the first 2 for the Panthers offense. Movement and a flag down. Again, Nebraska offsides. This was a problem last week. 12 penalties in the game against Colorado.
Offside. Defense
What
number
happened?
48, causing the offense
What?
to react.
All of a sudden, you were not on, like you got kicked.
That's MJ Sherman.
I had to re-add you.
I have no
These
idea.
guys get off so quickly. You see him, he's trying to keep an eye on the ball. And
We
he just
got
knows
Todd in Thailand
a
in the
little
house.
Too soon.
What up,
And
Todd?
it's hard, right? Because you're anticipating the snap count. You're watching the
We got
quarterback.
Liverpool,
He's
New York.
clapping, they're trying to
What up, John?
draw you off sides. And that is the semantics within the game with the line of scrimmage.
My guy Leonard
Now
out
second down
there.
and 3. Dunn steps up.
Get it.
And behind Jaden Ellis Lane.
3rd and 3, man. I need
A
to stop.
stop?
Yeah.
They've already been on the field too long on this drive, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, this is their scripted stuff.
Well, I think we just
This is their
referenced
let's
it
catch
around
'em by
Northern Ireland.
surprise
They gotta
stuff.
survive the first quarter.
They're using it all
The
up.
excitement, the crowd, the fanfare,
What up, Joey?
etc.
Joey, I used to live in
Nebraska,
Tempe, man. I miss Arizona.
Minimize unforced errors. Those are 2 penalties that are unforced errors. You are giving them and gifting them a first down, or now 3rd and relatively short.
The defense that pitched a shutout
Can be
in
some
the first
little
half
screen dump off pass.
last Saturday.
They might run it. They might do a
Might
draw.
spread it out, might spread it out and have the quarterback run.
Nope, they're throwing.
What I tell you.
Yep.
Blow
Oh, little throw out to the running back, and they're going to get it. That was a great play call, man.
Deshaun
Singleton.
couldn't get to him in
Kinda
time
got
on pickup of 4
froze.
when they needed 3.
This is really impressive from the quarterback. Watch him right here. He's just got great
In fact, for all
integrity within
my,
his pocket. The pocket is set
all of
right
the
there. Watch him just
Arizona
step up in
Husker
that
fans
pocket.
got a little-
His eyes are downfield.
little
He
emblem
knows
you might
where his
be
outlet
interested
is.
in.
It's to its back. He knows the situation on 3rd and 4. Moves the sticks. I mean, that is big time.
That's a really good throw.
From your quarterback in this environment.
Coach has told us one of his best qualities, his communication, but we've seen him now in a couple spots.
This ain't
make
good. You got to get off
plays,
the
too.
field on 3rd down, period. But especially against Northern
Communicate
Iowa,
here, but
man.
first
This is going to be a, like, vacation game for him.
I mean, there's some heat, and nice catch.
Ball is held
But he's
on to
swallowed up
by
immediately.
Boy, he took a stick from James Williams.
Well, Nebraska
James
decides
Williams
to bring
really
some
been
pressure.
popping the
The
last
back picks
couple
up the
weeks,
first
man.
one
Dio.
right there. You see the
Yeah,
back,
Jimmy James
and
Williams.
Nobody there for the second player. And how about to your
What a
point,
catch,
he did
dude.
take a stick, a clean hit from Williams. But a nice grab, and I really think a nice job of communicating. You said communicator? They got to talk up front against this 3-3-5 defense. You see 3 guys on the line of scrimmage. Previous snap was 4. The offensive line has to know how to slide and who to slide their protection to.
2nd and 8, handoff. Oh my gosh, she's going to get 7-8. He's
They're
going to
score on
get
this
it.
drive.
Passed, another first down, pick up a 9 yards.
This is shit.
Not a touchdown, right?
Physical group, right? They bring
Why
a
not?
little bit of pressure, trying to crash
Can't
down.
get off the
Williams. See how
field.
he goes with that left shoulder
I
guy?
know they
You
have
wanna
to
go with
bend,
your
but
right
don't. I mean,
shoulder
this is you and I,
stay
bro.
square, so you have an opportunity to make the play.
Stop
He goes with the
disrespecting
wrong
UNI
shoulder,
like
tries to
that.
spill it to
Well, I
Bullock.
mean, you get
Bullock
ranked
misses
and
the
all this
tackle,
hype because you
and they're
beat
moving
2
the
shit
sticks
teams. It's like,
again.
okay, now go
Tell
prove
you,
it.
I'm Tony White right now.
They're
I'm
giving
under
us
the
their best
pressure.
shot right now. I don't expect this shit to last.
Force them to take
TBH.
shots down the field.
I don't either, but it's like,
It looks like that's
this
what
should
snap
for
is.
sure be a shutout if everything's legit.
True.
That big block now, 1st and 10. Passing Hickson back in.
Not
we-
8 yards, 9 yards a pop.
We talked about it before the game, though. I think it was yesterday.
Well, this is a program that's had so much
I was like, what would we...
success, right? Mark Farley, the second
What would be
winningest
too much for them to
active
score that would piss
FCS
you
coach
off?
at that
And we
level.
both said 10,
Spent almost his
13.
entire career both as a player
I said
and
anything
then as a
other than
coach.
field goals or
At
garbage
UNI,
touchdown. And when I
started as
said
a
garbage
linebacker
touchdown,
coach
I
and
was
strength and
spinning
conditioning
3rd and
coach,
4th
and his
stringers.
program reflects his
Field goal's still on the table
Look,
here.
where does culture
Hold them
begin
to a field
and
goal.
end? In the weight room, in the off
Guys, we got
season. These guys
624
are
watching.
majority
Thank you
of
for coming and
bred
hanging out.
within
Please
their
hit that
home
like
states.
button if you
They are
haven't.
not intimidated
That's what's
by
growing
this
the
environment.
stream right now, I'll tell
Those
you.
players
What?
this
Here we
week,
go.
and this drive is reflecting that.
Over 6 minutes.
2nd and
already.
1.
2nd down and 1, and he may have taken a timeout. Play
Prior
clock was low.
to the play clock expiring. Timeout. Northern Iowa.
You know Rule is pissed right now, bro.
I would be
Nebraska marched
ready.
right down the field. Northern Iowa's marching on its own.
Welcome
Man.
to Hampton by Hilton. Big game tomorrow.
Well, Gary, what's going on?
With what? This
Why
game?
is this happening? Joe Gatto says, is the defense awake?
It looked to me the very beginning like they came out just we're going to sell out on the run because that's all they're going to do. And they did just enough to make you think you got the right game plan. And then they're doing these short dump offs and drag shit off on the edges where there's not, just throwing away from the zone over behind the line. The line seems to be doing all right. They're not getting there that quick, but these guys aren't Colorado just leaving 5 guys to try and block everybody.
Right. I expected in our preview video, I had mentioned, it'll be kind of funny to watch them run for more rushing yards than Colorado was able to.
Yeah, they've already got more than Colorado had all last week.
I was expecting people to bite my head off and be like, we're not going to let them run for more than we let Colorado. But it's like, well, I mean, how could you not?
They got 23 rushing yards right now. Didn't Colorado end with 22?
Something like that, yeah. And it was mostly just garbage rushing yards that they were trying to get at the end of the game so that they couldn't.
Was that quarterback running?
Yeah, it was almost like they were doing it just so you couldn't technically say that you shut out their run game, because that would have been insult to injury. Gene says, Florida, wake up. Oh, it says, wake up black shirts, and he's in Boynton, Florida. Boynton. I think I'm saying that right. Royal Pine says, it's UNI's first drive. Everybody chill out. I'm saying, man, like, I don't know. Maybe I've been playing too much college football video game where they come out and they're always just unstoppable on that first drive and then it chills out. But I assume that's trying to replicate the fact that these are scripted plays.
I don't know what you're talking about with all the college football talk all the time, but the reality is if you're Nebraska's back and they should be ranked and you're getting ready to go into Big Ten play and you're playing a Missouri Valley Conference football team that scored 1 touchdown against Thomas Jefferson or whoever they played last week, like, look like it. Come out here and beat the shit out of them. And then if Illinois is doing this, their first drive, okay. Like, you'd still be like, we got to sack up and figure out what's missing and start shutting them down, getting off the field on third down. But
UTEP moved the ball a little bit.
Yeah, the first game of the season before all the back, we're going to be, I'm not saying they're not, but it's like, get your shit together, dude. Get off the field.
A 3-3-5 Nebraska-style defense. That rover position by number 2, Gifford. He can be down in the box in the run game. He can play the pass.
All right.
I think he's going to fill in the run right here in the middle of the screen.
After the
second one
from Northern Iowa, second down and short. Pressure coming.
Wow, we got to stop. Gifford down on the line. Gets into the backfield. Might be a loss.
Challenge of the defense. You see him, he just creeping as the play unfolds. Now all of a sudden he looks like he's a linebacker. And guy, that's the real challenge of this defense. Because there's times where he'll creep like that and then punch out and play.
Let's see if I can do something here. Something slick.
3rd and 2.
Keon Cameron truly communicate. And this is a perfect example against now a 4 down front.
3rd down and 2. You wonder, Yogi, is this 4 down territory?
Stack line.
Movement up front.
3rd and more running. Not a problem. Ooh, good stop. I don't think he got it.
Oh, my God. Did he fall over?
Nope. I think they stopped him.
He'll go for it, don't you
Let's see where they
think?
put this ball.
I kind of hope so. I'd like to see what they got.
It's got to be close. Good job by the offensive line in the initial push, but who's in there? Right there, number 2. Again,
This
that
definitely
forward
ain't,
position. Isaac Gifford.
Colorado's
He
O-line.
stands him up. It looks a little short from this angle, and if it's me, I'm going for
Not
it.
as dumb either.
I mean, this is UNI
2 tight
on
ends
the
and
road.
most of
You
their
have moved the
sets.
line of scrimmage.
Instead of 0.
You got to get 6 inches. You talked about the head coach and his background as a strength and conditioning coach. This is exactly that. This is that
Pop it
moment
back up here at the next
for this
play.
offensive line
This is the last
and this
year
team
for
on the
the
road. So I'm
change,
going
isn't
for it all day.
Or is that just NFL?
This would be a 38-yard field goal from here, which probably is a little out of Caden Palmer's range, so maybe that makes it an easier decision.
Got a full yard.
There you see.
Well, not a full yard, but definitely.
Maybe a foot.
Maybe a foot.
This thing has been built on physicality since Mark Farley walked on
That's
and
gonna
then
be
took
fun,
over
Oswald.
as the head coach, and it continues to be a team led by the ground game. Let it rip, man.
He's got a 402 tattoo.
And on the other side, if you're looking at that man right there, number 9, Ty Robinson, 6th-year senior, he's saying, okay, bring it on, run it right at me.
4th down and a foot.
This would be a huge confidence booster for them. Like, we're going right through that D line. Just going to power them forward for a yard.
Formation.
It's big. It's done.
Yep, no problem.
The first down by a couple of yards.
Son of a bee sting, bro.
This formation. Look at all these guys to the right side of this offensive line. Any guess where they're running it? They told Nebraska we're going that way. Ty Robinson and company, Nash Huttonmaker, they thought it was going to the back. They tackled Ty Edwards, and there goes Aiden Dunn. Really impressive call there from Joel Filani.
Just hold him to a field goal is all I ask.
First carry of the game, and he has that
Just
one.
take the ball.
To take this drive over 8 minutes now for Northern Iowa.
Gifford, how close he is.
2, 3, 4 yards.
And he's got about
Dude, they're blocking the shit out of our D, man.
Yes,
These
they
are
are.
getting cut. These are getting just stood up.
To Rocky Baum, who coached this defense at so many different places, recruited and coached defensive coordinator Tony White.
Grinding
taught
away.
him. He's
That's what I was talking
trained in
about. I
it.
said I
It's
think
got
they'll do whatever they can to
different
keep the
wrinkles now, but it allows
offense
that
on the
position.
sideline.
We'll see where Isaac Gifford lines up on this snap. But
Really
he's
only
got
had
the
one
freedom and
drive, bro.
flexibility to fit in the run
It
game.
can be that
And
easy
the
for him
whole
to keep
goal
us on the
for everybody
sideline,
on
but damn.
defense to be able to play downhill.
Survived the first 5 minutes. That's what Mark Farley told us he wanted out of his team. Can they capitalize now in the red zone? Aiden Dunn gets tracked down by Gifford after a healthy pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
3rd down. What bullshit are they going to
And
pull to
about
convert this
5.
one?
Let's see.
You think they're running a little bit of option, speed option? He says, no, I'm just keeping it myself. The left side of this offensive line has done a nice job setting an edge.
His running back was never in a position to receive a pitch.
Of course, the brother of Trevor was a first-round pick a couple years ago by the Saints. But if I'm on offense right now, keep an eye on number 45, Lane Pryor, the tight end.
15th play of the drive coming up.
There he is, guy. That's your tight end, flexed out. They love this matchup in the red zone.
And now whistles, and Mark Farley is going to use his second timeout. What does that tell you about how important this coach thinks this drive is?
Team timeout.
This is a moment,
Northern Iowa.
and this is a scene right now in this ball game. We'll be back with more.
Well,
They called their timeout.
I think so. Pretty sure it was them, not us. I'm not. I don't know, man. I don't want to get too upset about this because I think we can hold them to a field goal, bro. Like, I will be pissed if we don't. If it's 7-7, that'll be like sad. But at the end of the game, if it's 56-7, are you going to be upset? No.
Yeah. You look at it's fine. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying the difference is you look at like, well, you only gave up 3 instead of giving up. I look at like what I'm seeing each play on these matchups. I'm seeing our D line doing a decent job of containing, so like the quarterback can't just take off and run, but there's not much penetration when they have short deals that go off into coverage. Either the flats or the middle is open because guys aren't there. You've got a team that should not be in your league, especially your defense's league, an offense that shouldn't be in their league, that has had the ball for 7-8 minutes now, just marching down the field, slow, methodical, keeping your offense on the sidelines, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get off the field on 3rd down. You're not getting like looks or like solid hits on the quarterback on things because they're mixing up what they're doing. Like all that shit's not a good look getting ready to go into Big Ten play.
Is it impossible to imagine that this is a one bad drive and then they'll get their shit together. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I hope that's what it is.
Is that okay? If they score a touchdown and by the end of the game you're like, okay, so at the beginning it was a little shaky. They found their footing. They put their foot down and they didn't let them do shit. That's not going to be good enough for you because that's good enough for me. Like, I can allow this team. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
A mistake or an error doesn't make the mistake or the error a good thing. It just means you're not letting it manifest and turn into snowball into bigger things or whatever. But like, yeah, I
can allow them to have a bad drive, is what I'm saying. I'm not like if it's one bad drive, okay. If this is all game, yeah, I'll jump to your side. You know,
I'll do what you're told.
I'll basically jump to your side regardless. But the point is. Here we go.
I think they'll do that here just to try to keep this defense honest.
You think they run or throw?
Confuse them with a little
3rd and 5 throw.
You think they already decided though they're going both?
Probably it's probably 2-down territory. Yeah, don't you think?
I mean, you would think, but the rules look maybe you do think it will. Oh, did that hit him right in his arm? I thought he turned around and like one-handed it.
Is the one that brought the heat. Now it's 4th down.
This is clinic worthy from Buford. See how he turns his head at the last second? If he doesn't turn his head, it's going to be pass interference. But because he turns his head
looked like he had his
and
left
then
arm
knocks the
pushing
ball
him
down, there is no flag, even though there's a little bit of contact. They only rushed with 4, but boy, does Bullock come with some heat off the edge. Well thrown ball.
Comes that field goal, folks.
On the back end from Buford.
Pressure field goal here for Caden Palmer. Made his first 20-yard field goal last week. And
Cranks it home.
This
if they'd have forced him to kick that before the last first down, it would have been wide right.
You feel better now?
No.
Hey, you got it, John.
Why would you ever take less when you can live Moss?
It's tricky, man. Like, we've shown the entire game before, and it's just, you know, it's risky. It's not smart. Sometimes I feel like we don't care, but, you know, if we can not get popped, that'd be cool. But, you know, trying to do what we can to make it as immersive for y'all as we can. Kind of feel like you're still watching it, you know. Aeon says, now Satter... Why are you calling him Satterberg? Now Satterberg needs to keep his head and try not to get a quick score.
What's Satterberg? Like,
it's like a combination of Harburg and Satterfield, I feel like.
I just want him to explain it because it sounds like it could be fun. I mean, unless it was just like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Then I get it. But.
He says because he's not a Satterfield. Well, the other Dave says 50-yard touchdown coming and from Barney or Lloyd on the next drive. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. I want a quick tud or just a tud, period. Get them down 14-3.
Like this quarter. Go score in the next, do like a 2-minute drill.
Even if it's like a little bit through the second quarter. I just want 14-3 to get them in a situation where they start to feel the pressure of needing to pass every down. Because once we get them there, that's when we're going to see the defense start shining.
I mean, the way the defense looked, they might need a little time to.
They bent, but didn't break. You know? I like that drive.
I'm sure you do.
There's things I dislike. I dislike that this, but like Rule was saying, we're playing a team that's a winner. They know how to win. They win the majority of their games. Their heart rate doesn't go up because they're playing Nebraska. Nebraska scored on them. They didn't get scared and just go into their shell like a turtle and be like, well, no. They came out and they punched us in the mouth, but they couldn't punch us hard enough to get into the end zone. I like that.
You done?
Yes, sir.
Rule's supposed to say all these nice, respectful things about teams, especially teams that aren't even in your division or whatever you want to call it. You're supposed to get off the field on third down against any team you're playing. That's the goal. Not let D2 schools or whatever you want to consider them, FCS, whatever, just keep converting third downs on you and march the ball in your field, which you said on the beginning of their drive. Sounds like it did against Colorado. Colorado put no drives like that together on them. Granted, Colorado's probably not as good as them, but or at least the line play. But it's like, come on, man. How do you feel good about that drive? Period. Let alone feel good knowing starting Friday we get in the Big Ten play. And this style of football is what we're going to see.
I don't expect perfection
against this team.
Not perfection, dude. Maybe that's why it's a tune-up game, because we're still figuring some things out. Colorado is just that bad. I think Colorado made us feel like we were 5 steps ahead of where we thought we were, when really we're only 3.5. You know that's a good explanation, bitch.
It's not. There's no excuse for not getting off the field on third down multiple times against a team that's this much below you. Like, sorry, you'll never convince me. Like, well, I guess it's okay if you look at it from this angle or like, no, dude. Last year, 2 years ago, yeah, like, okay. But the way the defense looked last year, the way everything's supposed to be improved, everybody's hyped and ramping things up and getting ready for Big Ten play, to have that as your first drive where they're on the field for what felt like a half hour. Come on, man.
So Sipple and Callahan were talking about long snappers for like 10, 15 minutes. And then they started joking about how only Nebraska fans and Nebraska analysts are going to win by whatever we won by, 18 points, and still spend a half an hour fussing and stressing over who's going to be the long snapper. This feels like that, bro. We just held a team to 3 points who made a nice drive down the field with scripted plays, and we're still obsessing over what could go wrong because we're so used to things going wrong and unraveling, and you're trying to get that spool from it's like it's not unraveling yet. I don't think it's unraveling yet.
But that's not the case at all for me. I'm judging based off of that drive. On that drive, you had multiple third downs where you couldn't stop a team and get off the field, regardless of the level. That to me, that adds to it when you look at the tier or level of team. But like, to your point, they come out and get 3 and out the whole rest of the game with a couple turnovers. And I'm like, yeah, good. I'm glad they fixed it. But that's not a good drive for your defense at all. There's nothing good about that. I guess it could have got worse by giving up a touchdown, but to let them dominate the clock, time of possession, tempo, that
Dylan
Raiola
sitting around for a long time waiting and he overshoots.
Raiola overthrew Fedoni. We're getting a flag. Wow.
I think it's going to be a PI, and they're going to say he was held. As he made that break on the post, it looked like his arm was grabbed and he couldn't get it up to try to make the catch.
Pass interference. Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty in the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
Yeah, it's that right arm. He can't get it up.
What do you do?
And officials are always looking
Held his arm down? I don't know.
Is the possible catch impeded?
He's just giving him a dap. He was just dapping him up before he went up for that catch. He couldn't do that.
6'6" Fedoni.
Nice little pass.
Go, Ramir.
Oh, no, it's Emmett.
Is it 21?
It's 21. So last week, you remember, Rule said that Emmett did the best job on pass protection, so he's going to get more reps next game.
Guy, it appears Indiana was ready for its first trip to the Rose Bowl in half a century. First 2 possessions against UCLA, 2 touchdowns. Curtis Rourke to Keyshawn Williams, up 14-0 on the road.
How about that? That Indiana red looks good under that Southern California sun, doesn't it, Yokes? There's Robinson, another nice move to pick up a couple more. That previous game was 17 yards.
Yeah, I heard it, Brady. I didn't want to say it. He's been saying sus statements all night.
The vibe is there. UCLA can possibly respond. And now for this offense for Nebraska, it's about responding because they were sitting on the bench for quite some time.
Emmett Johnson This has been his drive. The coaches told us, Yogi, he earned some more playing time with his performance last week. Another tough run for him.
Nice.
And it'll bring up 3rd down and 1 with the first quarter clock ticking low.
They're not going to get another playoff, are
See
they?
what they do here. They bring a fullback in, and I got to imagine allow this one just to tick away.
There have been, hold on, let me count. 1, 2 full possessions.
It was the end of the first quarter.
Not what you expected.
So it's just the fact that they're doing such a good. I think the biggest problem is the fact that they're doing such a good job controlling the clock. You know, it's making this feel worse because we should be up 14-0, but our pace can't be there. We can't score with good pace. Like what I'm saying is, like, I'm kind of glad I didn't. We still could cover that 30-point spread if it's 30 still, but maybe not because they're not going to let us touch the ball enough. That would be insane if we got 1.5 possessions every quarter.
Yeah, that'd be ugly.
Brady says, Georgia looking human against Kentucky. Interesting. Maybe Kentucky's good. Who knows? Mr. Mitchell Jr. says, is half of our D injured? I don't think so. They're just, you know.
Bears out because of that vicious forearm grazing to Shadour's non-sliding helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't think any of the starters are not in.
Butler. What's going on with Butler? Apparently he's not playing in the first half.
Why?
I don't know. Can anybody in the chat tell us why? I heard them saying that, and I've seen Leonard out there instead of him. Anybody know what's going on with that? Dude, did you watch the most recent Chasing 3? So good. It was the Colorado week. Colorado week. Yeah, with Crawford.
I think so.
So good. Oh my God. Shout out to Nebraska's video crew that's putting that together, man. I would love to learn from them. That shit is must-see TV. Eric Cap says, is this our year? Heard that most years since 95. This is our year to climb back into relevancy, but it's not our year to win a natty. You know, I don't think anybody's really thinking along those lines. Or are you hearing that up in Nebraska, Gary?
No,
that's so far ahead.
Like Rich Eisen was talking, and can't remember who else. I think Clapp might have said something. A couple of teams have talked about
Will Clapp.
They kind of expect or wouldn't be surprised if.
Hold on, Real Man's talking. Real Man's talking.
Although they're able to force the field goal, what's your message to your team right now?
Oh, keep playing. These guys aren't afraid of us. So this is a real team.
This is a real team, he says. Shot at Colorado.
And they had the explosive play, so this is what we need. We need to play against a good team that's tough, like Coach Farley's team.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Did you see that?
Down for Nebraska's offense, and it's Dylan
What did he say?
Did you hear him say, we're playing a real team?
Yeah.
Love it.
You're thinking this is
Colorado just took that
100%
personal.
going to be some sort of dive, tight splits, tight ends, everybody jammed in there. No, let me just pull that one and showcase my athleticism as the true freshman. Easy first down, and you know the big lesson for him is when you're sitting for so long, you've got to keep your focus alive, especially at home in front of this crowd. You can't be lulled to sleep. He's done a pretty magnificent job thus far on this drive and his decision making.
So calm last week, too, right? Head-to-head with Shedeur Sanders. Everybody was locked in on that game.
A little swing out to the flare route.
Barney's able to get about 5. Everybody else in there to help him.
Yeah, we'll take it.
You know, we talk so much about...
Troy says Butler has to sit out first half because of targeting.
His dad, Dominic Raiola,
I didn't realize it was him that did that. I thought it was just Bayer.
You know, Dylan has all these great pro connections, right? But he goes through full days of prep here at the facility, then goes home where they
it is possible, Corey, but this is Big Ten play where you can't,
as well. His preparation is maniacal.
You know, expect that.
Second down, and he gives it off here to Dowdell.
Damn.
We're seeing pregame here, Rhett, and there's hugs with the family. Dad, his sister Taylor, a grad manager, was a volleyball player at TCU. His mom Yvonne, a water polo player at Hawaii. Of course, his dad, an All-American center here, 14 years in the NFL with the Lions. So they got the system down. They know how to compete.
Well, they also know that reality is he's still developing and growing.
What up, Stunna?
Talk to both of his parents on the field in pregame.
Whoa, Raiola dropping back, throwing over the middle. Woo! Nair in for the score. Take a little look at that, shall we?
I just want to see what this defense looks like now. I feel like this camera has been worse than the last 2 weeks as far as being able to see everything. Like they're really tight on the ball and everything.
Yeah.
You think
Big
that
Ten,
is just me?
Yeah, well, last week it was Peacock. Maybe they're better.
Isaiah Nair, one of the
this Big Ten
veterans on this offense. The transfer from Wyoming, then by way of Texas.
No, it's Peacock.
The second touchdown
Bro,
of the year.
National game on NBC.
You know, we talked to
Peacock is NBC, sir.
Young freshman, they said, we know
Peacock is
really talented, but we want to make sure
it's the same company, but you have to have the Peacock app to watch it.
So they were showing it on national NBC and Peacock?
For sure on national NBC. I don't know about Peacock.
That's what I was watching it on. Wow. I'm a Peacock guy, you know?
Because you got money like that.
Well, yeah, I don't want to brag, but, you know, we got some, we've got some things. We got some streaming service.
Watch it on regular ass cable.
Well, you know. How long until Raiola gets a commercial with Patrick Mahomes doing State Farm? It's got to be coming up, bro.
Think so?
It's got to be coming up. Come on. Mr. Raj says, I like being ranked. Being ranked does feel good. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. I think we're all just worried about making sure we prove.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Shut up.
Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Rich Eisen for sure. And I want to say Clapp, but somebody else, there was a couple people this week that have mentioned or talked like they either expect or like wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska's right on the edge of being one of those playoff teams at the end of the season. I was like, I don't know about that. We'll see.
I don't have a problem with that. That would be once again.
Well, yeah, obviously it'd be good, but I'm saying, do you expect that?
I'd need to look at our schedule again and probably no.
I mean, if they don't drop
like what's on the outside? Like everybody's on the outside that ain't inside. Like how close are we talking?
They're saying like right on the like one of those teams that people
they
are
just
saying
barely didn't get let in.
They should be in, or I don't know if they'll be in, or like one of those, or just sneak in type teams.
And I don't know. What do you guys think in the
I think it's super realistic if they get to Ohio State undefeated. But if they drop one of those games in there, I don't know.
Rip City Brady said 4K subs. Congrats. Man, we must have hit 4K during the stream. Thank you guys. If you guys have hit the sub button, I
didn't think we'd ever get.
Wow.
Weren't we at like 2K for a year and a half?
No. We just, you know. We don't even ask for subs. We don't care. We just really kind of care about engagement, you know? I mean, subs are great. Don't get me wrong. Please subscribe if you haven't. But, yeah, 4K is a nice little juicy number.
A quick scoring drive for Nebraska. The Moon heard what happened here last week and said, I gotta get to Lincoln early. Defense coming back out.
Yeah, and this black shirt defense is real. Ever since Matt Rule got here, just look at what it's done.
17 points through the first 2 quarters, fewest since 2009.
This year, and there is a commonality, right? This place expects big-time defense with the black shirts. Same deal for Matt Rule.
Dude, last week's pick 6 with Tommy Hill was the first since 2019. That's insane.
What was it?
That is insane. Our pick 6 from Tommy Hill, that was our first one since 2019.
That is a non-negotiable element.
Yeah, I did not know
one
that.
of his teams that he's been the head coach of.
Second time on the field for the defense. A field goal on the first possession for Northern Iowa on a 10-plus minute drive. And this does not start the way they want. You know, it was funny talking to Tony White, the defensive coordinator. He said, we've got these headset communications.
My phone's so old.
Of course, like everybody does.
What you got? I got an iPhone 11, and I love it. They're on 15 by now.
It's like almost every charger I have to get it to where it's sitting just right, or it'll like fall out or won't actually charge.
Yeah, Illinois is good, Brady. They're flawed but good. Flawed but talented.
They're resilient.
A little step up. We're gonna get about 4. Don't hit him.
It'll be third down and long.
All right.
Sniff his helmet.
Signals. I thought with the headset communication this year, we no longer see teams have these flags on the sidelines to protect the coaches' booths from stealing the signal. See it right there at the bottom. The bottom of the screen there, those ends right there.
Listen to that crowd, bro.
So signaling is not going away due to helmet communication like I think a lot of us anticipated, at least for the defense at home.
Third down and 7. Northern Iowa was good on third down on its first possession. Done. First down.
Come on!
Ellis Leahy.
They're so obsessed with stripping the ball, which is fine, but it's like somebody can go ahead and get him down.
Aiden Dunn sitting in the
That'd be
pocket, guy.
That's rough, bro.
In his lap. He throws right into it, and he finds his
good throw.
Out, finally making an impact.
What down was that?
I think that was third.
Air raid offense. They still have those concepts. That's a nice little seam concept. Comes right back to the ball, perfectly thrown against pressure.
First down and
I might break my computer before this is over.
Just relax. Uh-oh.
Just so you know.
Uh-oh. Flag? You see Singleton getting pancaked all the way up the field?
Getting the business?
Yeah.
And that was an awesome play design, right? Little zone read, keeper. He's got a lead blocker.
Holding. Offense number 21. 10-yard penalty from the spot.
I would hope that's what sprung him free, bro. I really would.
Yeah, he split out wide. You see at the bottom of your screen. And it'll show
what
right
did they call?
up there. And
holding?
look, they're both kind of grabbing each other, but as a wideout guy,
yeah.
you gotta know when you feel that.
Oh my God, Singleton.
You've got to let go, especially when you know the design of the play. And the only reason the DB is pushing and pulling from you is because he sees the ball coming his way. So that is a missed assignment in a big way for the senior captain, Moranci.
What's funny about it, the penalty occurred past the line to gain, and it's a spot foul. So it's 1st and 9. They didn't get the yardage, but they didn't lose the down. Here's Dunn again, and this time he gets pulled down by Tommy Hill. What a huge game.
Hill getting in on it.
Big pick 6.
Good.
What was that, a corner blitz, or was he just...
He's a big physical corner. Sees the motion. Nice job at tracking the motion, trying to get in the hip pocket of it. That's an automatic read from the corner.
That's how I'd tackle you in space.
His guy goes
you would
in
have hit me
motion,
higher
and zone
and
coverage
knocked me
up
back
there, go
further.
blitz.
That's true.
And the ball would have came
And this
out.
guy's been lights out. I can remember he was a freshman at Arizona
Second
State.
and 9, folks.
Tommy Hill turned the corner over the last year and a half, man.
Second and 9.
I say you better get penetration with that front.
That disrupts the throw.
What now, man? What's the flag now?
Come on, hold it,
Kay
hold it.
Wallen was the man who applied the big hit as Dunn was letting it go. Dunn
That's
is doubled
interference,
over trying
really?
to catch his
On
breath.
them.
Let's go.
And you can see that this penalty's going against Northern Iowa.
I think it's going to be OPI. offensive pass interference. Now they're talking to Coach Rule. What is decision?
He said move it back 15. You could read his lips.
Offense pass interference. Offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It is second down.
They took the penalty?
Yeah, I think he said move it back 15.
So instead of a 3rd down and 9, he's going to make
What
it
down
2nd
was
and
that?
24.
It's 3rd and 9. Well, it would have been 3rd and 9. It was 2nd and 9.
Play caller, right? Not a lot of great calls on the call sheet, but you also want to think about the bigger picture, which is you want the clock to keep running. You want to run the football. You found pockets. I try to work the passing game in between the hashes down the seam. You had a little success, especially with the tight end.
Aiden Dunn. He throws. That's complete. Receiver screen to Hudson, and he's able to stay on his feet.
I absolutely hate, and that's the only way I used to be able to tackle because that's so small. But when people just dive at a dude's legs and think that's good tackle.
Where they put this about 5.
Really nice block out on the perimeter.
Not that
from this receiving core. Ellis Leahy, and look at this.
Yeah, no wrap up.
Desmond Hudson just kind of does the
That was Willis McGahee.
Runner, and you're right.
Hartzog.
Coach Rule said it to Red Lewis in between the
Hartzog's the one that dove
This team has come to play.
Yeah.
Threw his shoulder into his legs. And
forgive me, Willis.
didn't wrap up. Good D.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Is the big tree trunk of an arm from Ty
So that
Robinson.
was. Oh yeah.
That's a really good play call against pressure. They
Never
want
mind.
to run the inside
What?
Never mind.
What? What?
Been there,
I was about to say something dumb.
Beautifully. See on the sideline right there against
Per
his
usual.
coach, a handshake to Jack Potenza and
Morgan Wallen. Appreciate you taking a break from your
nice
world
job by
tour
them
to play a
correcting
little defense.
that potential error from a week
Why
ago.
am I
where
so
we thankfully didn't have
blurry?
a potential injury.
Yeah, Jack Potenza doesn't want to go viral again.
Here comes the punt.
So here's a punt to Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. He'll let that bounce away. Last week, after a big field goal block, Ty Robinson went flying into the air and knocked his coach on his back. So they decided
Was
to
that the
modify
coach who knocked on his ass
celebration
last week?
to Potenza's joy.
Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I did. I actually
He
did.
smoked that dude.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Like nobody was like it was just an accident. I was thinking about it. It's so funny. You jump up in the air with an object as big as Robinson, and you're gonna go. Andy's padded, and you're not.
That was funny.
Bro got sent flying. That was great. Ooh, you're welcome, Mike. No problem, man. Here for y'all.
What do you say?
You said getting us the game is what I'm talking about. Thank you.
It's all me. Gabe's just along for the ride.
Yeah, he's teaching me how
you're
to
welcome.
do all this. You know,
No, I'm kidding. I don't even know how to turn this on half the time.
Tell him about your internet. First, let me set it up. First, let me set this up by saying only Gary. These sorts of things only happen to Gary. For instance, one time we're playing 2K with Gary. He's new to NBA 2K.
Well,
he loads into the game,
version,
and the entire court is pitch black. No lines, no wood, no nothing. It's
just
like
guys running around.
Just guys running around on an empty void. And we're like, this could only happen to Gary. So another only could happen to Gary was weeks on weeks now we've been frustrated with Gary's internet.
It's
weeks. He had 2 separate internet professionals come to his home and try to fix the issue. What was the final issue you figured out today?
No, that's
it
not
was unplugged.
Nah, dude,
his modem was unplugged.
No, it wasn't, dude. If my modem was unplugged, how would I have had internet for us to record the videos or game or do whatever else the last few weeks?
That's actually a great point.
The hardwire, the Ethernet cable, when they came the last time to check it out, they unplugged it. They unplugged it from the modem. So everything was just Wi-Fi. So when we were gaming, I'd plug the cord into the PS5. When we were recording videos or doing live streams the last 2 weeks, I plug it into the computer. And I'm sitting here getting frustrated, like, dude, I'm hardwired in. Why is this still shitty connection? And then I go to reset it today before this, and I'm like, how come this cable's not plugged in?
Oh, shit. God.
So, yeah, other than that,
good,
everything's been pretty smooth.
Good. Watch, we start boat racing everyone we play on NCAA.
The outside linebacker coach, and he heard about it. That did not go unnoticed around the facility. So they decided, let's change it up.
That's funny.
A handshake. Amazing.
A true vet, right?
Yes, that's an adjustment.
Correctable, yeah, there you go.
Here we go.
Third possession for
handoff. Stopped in the backfield. Gabe Irvin gets taken down.
For Gabe Irvin. Rhett, you had a chance. We caught up with the Jack Potenza before the game. What'd you think of what he had to say about that?
Yeah, guys, I'd say the effort on that Robinson celebration was a little plus, right? A little bit extra, but the effort has been under the examination of Coach Potenza here with his talented group of outside linebackers. As you saw, MJ Sherman was right there with Robinson on that screen deflection. They've been coaching up effort, studying it. They feel like they've pointed out a few guys in the NFL that have made a living with that effort, like Khalil Mack. 12 of his 17 sacks last year were effort-based, so they're coaching that into these players on the defensive side of the ball.
I'll tell you.
It was a 12-yard pickup. It was so interesting.
It was great.
What he's saying, right, is like Potenza did a study, and he told his guys, even the best players, most of their sacks come because of effort.
Well, so much about this program is around one phrase, which is chasing three. You look at the 3-point losses they had a year ago, whether it was an effort play, an effort sack, a batted ball, so many little moments. This whole team has taken that to heart, led by their 6th-year senior, Ty Robinson.
Whoop. Nice. Oh, get that.
Throw her deep.
Get that. Wide open. Good on you, Lloyd. Smoke that dude.
He go. Nope. How did bro catch him? If that was on NCAA, you and me would pause the game and go look at that safety speed.
And I don't think you can confuse
Really had to circle
right?
back.
This is a deep play action. He feels the
You know what I
pressure.
mean? It
Look
wasn't
at
like
his
he hit him
His eyes are always
on a dead
downfield.
sprint.
He knows where
It
the
looked like he tripped.
displacement
He
of
looked
his
like he's
wide
getting up to
receivers
catch
are
it.
going.
Wow.
Knows exactly where
His
he's
left
going
arm's
to
on the
end up,
ground.
and drops an absolute dime to
Yeah, see?
Lloyd all the way down the field. How about
Wow.
the balance? Keeping his feet coming
Wow.
back in the scramble drill. Big explosive
Wow.
play.
Now, you would have housed that.
59-yard pickup.
That's how I roll.
You wouldn't have turned around. You would have just backpedaled.
Ramir Johnson
I'm
indicated
faster than
running.
Lloyd. It's not fair to
That inside. Good job, Barney. Oh, smart. Ooh, that's a late hit. That's a late hit, man. Can't form shiver my guy in the helmet when he's 2 yards into the end zone. He's 120 pounds. Gonna hurt somebody. Try to relax.
21-0, baby, against the vaunted Northern Iowa Panthers. The undefeated Northern Iowa Panthers.
And Ja'Cory Barney, he takes a big hit at the end of that play. He pops up with a smile on his face.
Let's get a look at that full screen.
I think these
They
scoring
show
drives
it.
are getting shorter for Nebraska.
Show her again.
All right, let's watch the operation again. The walk-on Aiden Flagey on for the snap. Perfect out of the hold of Bushini. So far, that part of the Nebraska operation has been cleaned up.
And this is impressive, a little backyard football element. Watch on the toss, he gets the ball, and then he's just gonna wait. He's gonna wait for his lead blocker, Nate Borkature, the tight end, to get out in front of him.
Damn, he got walloped.
Beautiful job, and you're right, guy. This feels like
That
a little
safety came
playground
a walloping
ball,
into the end
little
zone.
backyard ball, and definitely a smile.
Damn,
for the
bro, little
freshman
helmet to helmet too.
from
Me no
Florida
likey.
State.
I don't think he got his helmet.
Congrats.
I thought it on the live play, but I'll tell you if it was or not.
Well, some of those angles were worse than others.
Well,
you know, down there, Gary.
well.
So now that we're up 21-3 and the defense is handling business, you feeling a little bit mo better?
If the defense keeps getting off the field, I will. I'd hate to have to beat your ass in front of all these people.
I'd love to fight you, but I gotta go get some coffee.
Katie yells, "Gabe, we're out of coffee." Here's the last cup.
That was your last cup. CSU still up, says Mike. I'm actually, I might pop that on me phone.
Are they really?
Yeah.
What's the score?
I'm about to pull her up.
I don't know why this is only giving me half of the scores. I'm not super.
It's probably scared of you like I am, and like everyone in the chat is.
This shows Colorado's up 7-3.
Come on, Colorado State. I've never asked you for anything except for last year when I asked you to beat them.
Other than that, nothing.
Other than that, bro, like you guys owe me.
You at all?
Yeah, and you didn't do it last year, so you do owe me.
What's that gonna pay,
fellas and ladies? We got almost 600 watching, but I think we're stuck at like 147 likes. Could we just try to jump up to like 200 likes? We only need like.
You're getting awful greedy.
53.
You're getting awful greedy.
Fellow humanitarians could hit that like, Appreciate y'all. Did you put money down on this game? If you were a betting degenerate, would you have, and how much would you have?
If I was a gambler, I would have lost money on the first quarter.
Wow, so that's why you were so frustrated, you little bitch.
I didn't bet.
That's why you were frustrated. And it takes a fisherman to spot another fisherman. I know, because when the Suns are losing, or just even when the Suns are winning, but they're not hitting the shots I want,
and this is another
me get upset.
And let's take a look at tonight's coach profile, brought to you by Discover.
Well, look, there is a blueprint when you hire Matt Rule. Everywhere he has gone, he has gotten better. Usually it takes 3 years. Not this year for this team, at least in our eyes when you're looking at it. And I think it's a big part of this team being veterans. But at Temple and at Baylor, he said he would play a lot of the young guys, just roll with a bunch of the freshmen and sophomores to build the culture, build the program.
Because I think it was 7.
You've got so many veterans, and a lot of them came back because of that stat right
there. I thought going into this, they should for sure cover, but I was like, man, if they do get deep into the depth chart,
is all over their doc series,
then you start worrying about garbage touchdowns.
This team is
but I figured they'd be up, maybe about like this, maybe a little bit more at this point. That first drive was just not good. Or defensive drive.
Much. Like, they're getting too many yards on these little runs, man.
Of those 4 games that were lost by a field goal, 3 of them were 13-10. Can you imagine this offense scoring 10 points this year?
No, I cannot.
That's why you were getting upset.
And how this thing is developing, and some of the new playmakers. I mean, the 3 guys that have scored tonight, they're scoring for the first time, or they're new faces to this program as freshmen or as transfers.
Ty Edwards churns forward for a first down. Let's take a look at tonight's big stat, brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Old is good.
Yeah, I think it really is, especially when you're looking at the expanded playoff, right? The 2 teams that played for the championship a year ago, their defense, look at their average years old, and they also were a bunch of
Michigan
60-year seniors. Same thing here for Nebraska. So many vets that have played so much football now, back-to-back years in this scheme, and they know what they left on the table. And guy, I'm not saying they're going to the Natty right now, but I think this defense, they have a high expectation, a high standard of how to play every time.
Has been on fire.
Well,
and Northern Iowa's trying to respond here at the end of the second.
I'm not gonna lie, I am already to the point where I'm a little frustrated with the defense now. Which I told you I would be. I was just trying to give them that first drive. I kind of need them to hold them to no score.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm talking no field goal either. Because remember, you were saying like,
oh, that wouldn't be good for you this time.
No,
especially if they hold the ball.
Opening drives are different. The rest
of the drive.
Opening drives are different. You're getting settled down.
The good news is we've scored on all of our drives. The bad news is we've had 3 of them because our defense can't get off the field against Alabama, Ohio State, Northern Iowa. For Christ's sake.
No, So you're talking about Iowa Hawkeyes? They're a good team.
Yep. And it wouldn't be that disappointing if we had this score.
Oh, so it's not them. So you're talking about the Iowa State Cyclones.
Yep. Nope.
No?
That'd be hot too.
But they are from Iowa.
They're definitely from Iowa.
Okay. Well, you know. Could be worse. They don't have a tutty on the board.
Nor should they.
No. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to diagnose where this frustration is coming from on your part. Because
I mean, you're cool with the idea, even after what we talked about pre this game and the preview video, blah blah blah, that the starters are all going to have to come out and play at least the first series or two in the second half.
I don't know that that's definitely going to happen. I don't think starting the backups in the third quarter is out of the question. If we go up 28-3, is that not enough?
We're not going up 20. I mean, it's not likely. If you can't get off the field, you're already in the 2-minute warning.
I mean, there's 7 minutes left. You stop them here. You make them miss a field goal or push them out of range or get a takeaway.
Or more realistically, they take this down to the end, kick another field goal, and you go into halftime 21-6. You coming out and saying, hey, second string, get in there.
Well, I'm not saying the scoring is going to continue like this, but we are scoring like with great ease. I don't see why we don't score one more tud minimum. I can see two more tuds.
There's 2 minutes left, dude, and they have the ball.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the game cast and
I'm watching the game. I'm one of those weird guys that watches the game that's live on my TV with my shitty
Well,
ESPN's
playing games right now. Look at this shit. It still says 6:51. That's on you. That's your mistake.
Yeah, that's my fault. I
down
being
at
completely
14
honest.
here. 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
2 minutes, and they still got the ball. We'll probably
we ain't
more possessions. It'll probably
I was thinking
6.
3. Why not 6? Throw over the middle, and that's going to be a fourth.
And he gets down to about the 31, so it'll be 4th down and 5.5. You think about going for this?
Yeah, you're 100% going for this because it's out of field goal range.
Nebraska.
They going for it on 4th and 5.
Timeout.
They kind of have to right there, right? I don't know.
Too long of a field goal.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't do anything, but you're still down the same possessions. Unless
when you're a small business owner,
you're factoring in converting 2-point conversions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though.
If they bow up here, take the ball away. Oh, my God, this happened quick. They cut back to the game immediately from that commercial.
Like, we don't get a half hour to do commercials?
Right? Could you read that commercial back to me, please?
And he saw the first 2 weeks.
Who?
You.
And you got to give this
Northern
Iowa team
not
credit.
Just, to be fair, not just
for them.
Yeah.
And they get the ball coming out of the half.
All right.
So they have no timeouts, won't mess around.
Halftime is here. They might talk to Rule. We'll have that for you.
Coin toss and deferred. So as you said, Yogi, their offense, which is trying to play some ball control, got a little help from the defense here at the end. And Nebraska's offense looked like it couldn't be stopped. And did on that final drive. Rhett is with Matt Rule. Rhett?
Here we go. Here's Matt Rule.
3 possessions, but comes up short there late. What'd you see from that side of the ball?
Well, we only had 3 possessions, but really 4 is the problem, right? So they're doing a good job of shortening the game. We've been explosive. We had a chance there to go down and score. You know, we got to make that play on 4th and 3 something. But I like the way that they're playing, and they're doing a good job. They have a good game plan against us tonight.
Coach, defense has been on the field a lot, but they've only allowed 3 points. What do you want to see from that side of the ball in the second half?
Tackling. We're not tackling. They're the more physical team right now, so that's really disappointing right now.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Rhett, so 21-3, Nebraska trying to back it up after an eventful
maybe next half we'll focus on wrapping guys up instead of throwing helmets at their shins and everybody else just trying to rip balls out.
Yeah, that was a good point.
See, Coleman is number 80 now. So you go jot that down. I'm going to go.
Yeah, let me write that note down.
Refill my water and go to the bathroom.
All right, man. I'll pull up
Talk to these great people.
Pull up
Colorado
the stats
State.
here. Should we pull up Colorado State? What's going on with that game? That game is.
Don't you feel weird worrying about them now that we're done with them? I feel kind of like,
but
the ex that wants to drive by the house to see if some other truck's there, kind of thing. It's kind of weird.
Truck, you said truck, and that sounds personal, like you've been.
Well, I just want you to think that she's with a real man.
Oh shit!
And not somebody who drives a Prius like you. No
offense to anybody
who drives Priuses. I love
yeah,
Priuses.
No offense, anyone. As I rip your heart out and stomp on it. So you can go ahead and grab your drink. So Raiola is 13 for 16, 2 TDs, 209 yards already. It's just, this is a different world. If some reason me and Gary both don't want him playing the fourth quarter, really much third quarter if he doesn't have to, but he might have to. This could easily be a 400-yard passing performance. And then also, I would also like to point out that I feel like the refs have kind of helped Nebraska by making good calls. Almost like they're trying to make up for what the Big 12 refs tried to do to us last week. They're giving us the calls. They're like actually like calling shit. And I kind of feel bad again for the Panthers for Northern Iowa because they're already at such a disadvantage and the refs are calling everything on it. But hey, not going to complain. You take what you can get. Raiola's got one rush for 15 yards. Guys, we aren't really running the ball. I mean, not going to complain, but only 47 rush yards. Only 47 betwixt Irvin, Ramir, Emmett, Barney got a carry. Dowdell's got 4 and 1 from Dylan. Is anyone upset about that, or are you guys cool? The more I think about it, this Northern Iowa team is a good team to practice your passing against because we already know what we can do if we line up heavy sets and run the ball. Like, we know we can jam it down their esophagus. Easy. So maybe you don't do that. Maybe you don't focus too much on that. Dustin says, I agree. Put Carter in. Somebody must have been talking about putting Carter Nelson in. Yeah, Mr. Raj. Yep, he got that early touchdown, and I don't feel like we've seen him even get targeted yet since then. I wonder if they're even considering redshirting him after 4 games of play. I wonder. Alexander says, we can't afford to run much since UNI is taking up so much time on offense. Yeah, maybe that's a part of it too, right? I suppose that could definitely be a part of it. Ty Edwards, 4 rushes, 20 yards. They've got 71. They're out rushing us by 24 yards. But they have also ran the ball twice as much. So it is what it is. I don't know, man. I don't think that this Northern Iowa team is that bad. So say the score doubles in the second half, and we end up winning 42-6. I feel like that's a very healthy win. Do you guys feel differently about that? Patriot said, I think Coleman's going to redshirt. Yeah, he is. And I want to give Gary credit. Before Matt Rule said anything about it, Gary and I had a conversation one night about that. We didn't make a video about it, but we talked about it for a while, and I was just so confused. I'm like, Coleman is this big-time recruit. He's huge, 6'4", 6'5". He's just as fast as probably anyone on the team. How could you redshirt him? I just didn't understand that, but technically, yeah, and if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. I just worry that Malachi might be a little upset about being asked to redshirt when he had other really big schools looking at him, and he came home to play for us. And is anyone worried about Coleman other than me? Alexander said holding them to under 10 would be a win for sure. I just want to see the offense hit 40 again. We definitely can. We should be. If they were not milking the clock the way they are, we'd have 40 already. Our offense looks great. And we didn't always look good against against lower tier opponents like this. Let's be honest. Yo. I was telling him you called the Malachi red shirt.
I did what?
I was telling him that you called the Malachi red shirt before Rule said anything about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of suggested like it might be a possibility with bringing in the 2 seniors, but I was like, maybe like that. What is
this commercial?
I love this commercial, dude. Don't you dare say anything negative about this commercial.
Alexander said Malachi had the hamstring and that set him back a bit. It makes sense to redshirt him because of our wide receiver depth. Yeah.
Say it again.
His hamstring held him back, and it makes sense to redshirt him now because of our depth. Not to mention our depth is we've got 2 seniors, Nair and Banks, that are just more progressed through being a football player. They're better wide receivers at this point. They're speedy, they're big, they're seniors. They got to play now. And I don't want to waste a year of him playing if he's not getting many touches. That would be stupid.
If he can keep developing and ends up being a stud, and then we lose Nair and Banks at the end of the year, and he can come in and be an impactful guy for 3 more years.
Dustin says there has to be something going on off the field in relation to Coleman. I kind of don't think there has to be. I think on field, and this sounds stupid, I get it. But if you're very, very familiar with the Huskers roster, which Gary and I have been because we've been playing with it on the game, and it's got all the guys on it at every position for the most part. You look at our receiver room, I'm not talking talent, I'm just talking sheer numbers of guys. We have so many receivers. A couple of the guys we happen to bring in just so happen to be seniors that are better than him. So you have Lloyd, who
for his archetype.
Right. Thank you.
So you've got small, speedy guys, and you've got bigger physical guys that also have speed. Maybe not the top end speed he has, but if you're a younger guy that's taken a while to get all of the routes of all of the plays, there's a lot of different option routes and different things like that they do. You're having a little bit of a tough time picking it up, and you've got 2 veteran guys that can come in and do it. If you don't have a unique skill set like Lloyd's speed or Barney's just playmaking ability, it makes sense that like as he gets better at that and continues to develop physically, athletically, all that, to your point, why you can still use him 4 games. If somebody gets injured or wear and tear of the Big Ten season starts to happen later on, you can still plug him in and use him if you need to. But like you're saying, why use him sparingly when you could get a whole extra year out of him, knowing you're not going to have Banks in there after this year?
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Malachi and you have a patient bone in your body, you can probably understand that, dude. You think about where Nebraska is right now. Where are we going to be next year? And you're going to be that star guy out there. The future's bright for Malachi. I would have thought him and Lloyd would have finished, their careers at the exact same time, but Lloyd being smaller and a little bit more explosive on end arounds and stuff like that, it makes sense. Ooh, Wisconsin lost their cube.
Well, Ronnie's been texting me. Shout out Rondo, but he wants to come on. We need to set it up so he can be on during the Iowa game.
Okay,
that should be golden.
A little chat talking.
But him and I are it's a night game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't told him yet, but if he's still watching, he'll know. Him and I are going to just drink from the time we wake up until the game starts.
Slizzard Gary.
Yeah, and Rondo. That way it's more, we really dial up the shit talking. Be fun for all.
Illinois was looking good there, not going to lie.
Who'd they play?
They were beating the brakes off them so bad I couldn't tell. 66 for Notre Dame over Purdue.
Dude, I was going to ask you about that. Did you hear about Northern
How
Illinois'
good is
coach?
Northern Illinois?
Well, did you hear? Excuse me. Did you hear after the game?
He was on Jason Whitlock, your boy.
Shut your mouth.
Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
I don't remember. What was I saying?
After the game, Northern Illinois coach. Did I hear?
Notre Dame's coach, or asked him, he's like, do you want us to let you know like what we saw on tape, or like tell you guys?
Yeah. So yeah.
When I saw, because I didn't see the final until just now, but I saw in the first half they got up quick on Purdue, putting it on them. I was like, I wonder if he talked to that coach and was like, oh shit, we do, or like,
yeah,
make these adjustments.
Who better to help you make adjustments than the team that
just beat your ass?
Yeah, beat your ass, and they're not as good as you. That dude's definitely getting a head coaching job. Like, Notre Dame just got NIU's coach an upgraded job. Don't you think? Who the hell else would you rather have on a short list?
He's going to be besides Scott Frost.
You're right, Scott Frost, yeah. But he's got a big-time position now with the Rams.
He'll be taking over
for McVay in no time.
Real soon.
Yeah.
He didn't realize what he did. He didn't realize he hired his replacement.
McVay must have wanted a good drinking buddy, Somebody to sit around and watch Ted Lasso with him instead of game planning or showing up to free agents' houses on time.
Free agents?
Well, yeah, I mean, it can't be recruits. Yeah, Huskies lost, man. Washington's having some turnover. It's kind of understandable. I do feel bad about it, Cody. I don't like blasting Scott like that because he's still our guy no matter what. But it's like, bro, you came in here and you just shit the bed, man. Like, bro came in here like, we were good.
Holy
at
shit!
UCF.
Is this for real?
What?
You see Tennessee?
What?
There's still 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and they're up on Kent State 51-0.
Damn. Well, they got that really good quarterback, Nico.
Yeah, so do we, and we don't look that good against Northern.
Shut up.
Iowa.
Don't be comparing us.
I'm going to compare
to other teams.
I'm a comparer. Georgia and Kentucky must be in a dogfight.
So many good games on today. What do you think the most surprising game was today? Surprising upset.
I don't know. You?
Aeon said, did Trev Alberts get fired yet? Highly doubt it. Did they lose or something? They go after the freaking the new AD.
Brand new guy who has nothing to do with any of the players or coaches there.
They're like, well, clearly this didn't work out. Patriot says South Carolina beat Kentucky last week.
I mean, I'm not super shocked Florida State lost. I am surprised they lost. But the way they lost, like, they're clearly not the team they were last year, but it's like Memphis is that good that you can't do anything against them. And you were arguing you should have been in the playoff last year. Oh, Illinois played Central Michigan.
Okay, yeah. Well, they should beat the brakes off of them.
Are you surprised Wisconsin looked like they did against Bama? Or is that about what you expect?
What was the score? Because I saw their quarterback got hurt.
Wisconsin's did?
Yeah. They got carted off the field. And they're running a new spread offense anyway, so I don't expect anything from them this year.
Did they say what happened to him?
I seen it. It looked like he got his ankle it looked like he got either his ankle or his knee rolled up on going out of bounds.
Well, if you seen it must have happened.
Yeah. Jose says, is Raiola going to get over 300 passing yards? I really think he is. I really do.
What's he at?
209. 209.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. The defense, I think they're going to.
We're throwing way more than we're running.
Drives. Right, but I think they're going to make the defense play a few drives, whether they need it or not, just to
make sure they've got it figured out. Yeah. Hey guys, we hit 205 likes. Thank you guys for hitting that like button, man. Appreciate it.
None of this is up here.
What's
the Mississippi Wake Forest game?
Metro saying this is a long ass halftime. Yeah, man, this is football, Metro.
I feel like they always are.
Yeah. What were you looking up?
I don't remember.
Wow.
I'm looking now to see what I was just asking.
Patriot says Gramstad comes in the second half. Bro, Matt Rule loves Jalen Gramstad. Did you hear what he said about him?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, man. Like, if anybody didn't hear in his press conference, he was saying with Gramstad that he can't wait to hire him as a football coach. So get used to Jalen Gramstad's name. He's going to be on the coaching staff after his career. He's senior, right? Walk-on senior.
I have no idea.
What do you know exactly? They got Quinn Ewers in the Dr. Pepper commercial. I need Raiola in one of these.
Looks like Johnny Manziel's little brother.
I think you're getting your whites confused.
Well, they all look the same.
Well, fortunately, you can say that. Dave, that's a great question. And I love you calling Daniel Kalen Danny Dimes, even though it's very foreboding in a negative way. But we were talking about, we were both, I think Gary came up with this actually, and it has to be true. Has to be. Just like Malachi getting redshirted was true. So wouldn't it make the most amount of sense, because you get 4 games of Daniel Kalen's red shirt.
What? Say it again.
Don't you just relax? Don't you want to save Daniel Kalen's 4 redshirt games for opportunities when you really need him?
Yeah.
Say
when Raiola's hurt.
Exactly. Let's say Raiola goes down with let's say he gets a slight concussion. Someone hits him head to head, helmet to helmet, and they have to take him out of the game.
Like I hit you.
The way you constantly hit me.
Yeah.
And that's when you want Kalen to come in, and it's a game you need to actually win. And you get 4 cracks at that. You don't want to waste one of them on UNI. Let Gramstad go out there and live his college football dream of actually touching the grass.
Yeah. And Harburg. I'd be more worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously your number 2.
1 to 3, the Panthers out of the FCS are going to get the ball first.
I mean,
Nebraska,
I'd be
just about everything. It felt like
obviously ecstatic if Raiola gets through the whole year and not getting banged up. But you have to go back. Was it Armstrong? I think was the last quarterback we had that did that. That made it through the season without getting hurt. So it's
yeah, he's seeing the field, I think, extremely.
Even if one of those quarterbacks gets hurt in practice, your depth is already fairly thin. You know what I mean? It's like you can't really. I wouldn't mess with that. To your point, with the redshirt stuff, where if you do have to have him in there, hopefully it's still a tight enough or short enough towards the end of the season window where you don't burn his red shirt. It would be nice, like the UTEP game or this game, if in the second half, to be like, yeah, let him go in there and get some snaps, see what he looks like. But then if the back end of the season somebody gets hurt at, say, Ohio State, and now it's like you're just relying on Harburg, and
209 yards.
Then you got what Gramstad behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're back, kicking off.
136 per game, and he just threw for 209.
And I think most importantly,
we get a quick kick and then a commercial,
away.
right?
You see a lot of games like
Quick
this
kick,
in the first
long
2 weeks
commercial.
of the season when we've had upsets in college football. It's because of sloppy play, turnovers, etc. This Nebraska defense, they need to stop the run here, though, in the second half.
You gonna get a return?
Rut
roll.
For Northern Iowa. And,
Not too bad.
Good starting field position for Northern
Over or
Iowa.
under
Just to talk to the Panthers head
6
coach,
plays
Mark Farley,
for the defense on
coming
this
out of the locker
drive
room.
before they
What
get
do you
off the field.
Well, guys, very upset at the way his defense has blown some coverages and blown some calls up front that have contributed to some of those big plays for that Dylan Raiola-led Nebraska offense. On the
You think they're going to be on the field longer than 6 plays?
He loves what's happening on the offensive side of the ball. They got to limit the penalties, which is negated.
Wish I could say no, but I don't feel that way.
Nebraska coming out agitated because, as he said, they now know we can run it down their
I
throat.
would hope that they
You agree with that?
like reevaluated their
1000%.
life choices and decisions. Plus, Mekhi Bayer should be in now. So
yeah.
Right now. See if this defense took it personal.
Aiden Dunn's going to give it to Amari Pesic-Hickson.
Oh yeah,
that's
Bullock.
a good sign.
Good job sealing that
Looked like
edge.
he had that edge.
Play personal with a tackle.
Well, look, when your backs are against the wall, you haven't played great. Your seniors or veterans have to show up. John Bullock, this looks like a good run because they get to the edge. Bullock
Their line's not bad, man.
as the linebacker again in this 3-3-5 defensive scheme. Finds a way.
It is nice when you can grab a dude's helmet and fucking. Wow. Wow. How did we not see that?
Offense, they're going to keep going to the well, man, I think, in the run game.
Mekhi Bayer is eligible to return to
Aaron says under, but you waited until you saw that first good play, Aaron.
Cheater, not 7 for you. The line moved to 7 before you get
We'll
it
see
in.
if we see him. Stephon Thompson started in his place. And a reminder, Jamar
3 and out?
Butler not playing
A
today
Gary
for
and
Matt
out?
Blues defense. Hopefully
That's what we
they'll
call it,
have him
'cause
back
you always
next
force 3 and
Friday
outs
night
on
against Illinois here.
I'll tell you what, that is the loss that
college
I felt
football.
in the first half. And you watch their previous games this season, and then the first half, the way this UNI team has gotten to the edge, usually that's where Butler
You see Bailey?
has made his impact felt.
You'd know if you saw her. She's about 400 pounds. No, you wouldn't be able to see her if she was in that mess. She'd be up to everybody's hip. She said they were up high in one of the end zones, but after the first quarter, they were going over the student section. So
I'll say this, Yogi, right? There's some question how does their program in their position come into this environment?
This is good practice for the crowd, man.
They believe they can move the rock.
Just being loud.
like practice yelling.
Yeah,
All right, guys, we're gonna practice
All right,
yelling.
look, we don't really need it, but we might as well get in the habit of building good habits.
This is our last
All right.
warm up cheering session before we get into Big Ten play. I'm gonna need everybody on their feet.
Man. Does that look like a young guy in an old guy costume? That commercial was really freaking me out, not gonna lie.
Maybe.
Well, Aaron, I mean, the defense had a halftime correction. Hopefully, I don't know. Did we need a correction on offense? I think everything
Probably
we're doing
not.
on
I think
offense
the
is
offense
pretty
is all right.
breezy. Yeah.
I feel like they've done a really good job of dictating tempo and eating time of possession when they're on offense, that it's kind of made even the offensive side of this game seem stagnant. Even though it's not. They've scored every drive except for that last one, obviously, but it's like they've really taken the wind out of it. Living in Omaha, we're talking about going to the Wisconsin game. We were going to try to go last week, but neither one of us could get third and fourth mortgages on our homes to get tickets up by the blimp.
Yeah, it
So
just wasn't worth it. It really wasn't.
read this if you're a nerd.
Oh, shit, he got you.
Got me. I'm such an idiot. Such a dumb.
This is so weird, this new Big Ten commercial. It's just, I've been watching this thing for how long, and I never thought it would be starting in California or starting up in Oregon.
It's not very proportionate.
There's
like when they go from the West Coast to Nebraska, it
takes half a second. It's like
smaller than the Great Lakes area that has Ohio, Illinois, Minnesota.
They need us. They need us to go ahead and
we'll tighten that up for you guys. Don't worry about it.
And that means a lot.
They ain't got nothing else going on.
That's Greg Sharp, the longtime voice.
All right, I'm going to run to the little girls' room.
Nearly 20 years. He's been battling cancer for 6 months, a legendary broadcaster and an even more legendary person. And it's so great to see him.
3rd and 6, they're going to get off the field.
At Memorial Stadium. A 3rd down here for Northern Iowa.
Nope. Quarterback takes off, slides in, gets hit. Probably going to be a flag.
Where did he start this slide? They are giving him the first down. That's where they're marking it. But we'll check on where they spot
and just when it looked like Aaron was going to cash in on that under 6 plays, they get a first down.
Yeah, it's close. I think it's going to be a good call for the first down as they made it right there at the sticks.
Just to finish that thought on Greg Sharp, I had a chance to talk to him before the game. He came into our booth to say hello, which is just wonderful. You know, so many people are rooting for him and thinking about him. His battle continues, but hopefully he feels the love from all of us here at the Big Ten Network and people watching all around the country who know what he is going
5, 7, 8 yard gain running. He's what's telling you about man.
Football season. So
ever since last year, my concern has been the teams run the quarterback. Wisconsin ate us up that second half. Iowa at the end of their game pretty much iced it with running their quarterback. Maryland, of course, they had Tua's little brother, can't remember his name, but
rooting for him on every level.
This defense so far hasn't looked very good. And I mean, Maryland's quarterback gets a little squirrely and runs a little, but not a ton. But none of the other teams that had success running the ball on us are like don't run their quarterbacks regularly. So it worries me when we start playing some of the other teams that do like to get their running backs, or I'm sorry, the quarterbacks out. And they're running for a first down. So no, they did absolutely zero adjustments or anything that made an impact whatsoever on the defensive side of the ball at halftime. So it's exactly how the first drive started out.
He gets inside there, and it just opens up a lane.
That was play number 6, right?
Blocker, but 2 lead blockers there
5
for Edwards, and a nice job of creating an angle. Right, we're watching Nebraska in the second half, guy. They clearly want to stop the run, right? That was modus operandi, I'm sure, from Matt Rule at halftime, but they have been a little too aggressive on some of these pressures. You and I has made them pay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what great defenses do, baby. They take the ball
I was
away.
just going to ask you, is that really good defense?
And this is one that Aiden Dunn wants.
In my eyes, yeah, but I guess we disagree.
Well, I mean, I feel like the receiver's running open. He just throws it over his head. Like, that's where I'm like, why are these guys always running open? Like, I understand they play that bend but don't break bullshit. Try to keep everything in front of them and tackle until the field's short, and then they can do shit like that. But it's like, if that dude throws that ball where it needs to be, they're on 1st and goal.
Yes, but this is just me. I don't claim to be right here. This is just how I look at it. Part of defense is just witstanding and not. I mean, I guess it really is the bend but don't break, which everyone says all the time. But just waiting for your opponent to make a mistake and being ready to capitalize on it. I think that's a big part of it. Is like you have like. The wide receiver knows what route he's going to run. The corner doesn't. The corner is always reacting to the receiver. So the corner is at a disadvantage. I feel like the offense has a slight advantage because they know where they're trying to do, and the defense is just in reaction mode part of the time. And there's like a longevity to reacting to them that is like a talent of being able to just like, okay, well, we didn't give up a touchdown here. We didn't give it. Sooner or later, they're going to make a mistake because they're not that good. They're not bad at, so let's just keep our heads down. They're going to keep dictating we'll figure it out, but just don't give up anything big and strike while the iron's hot.
So I'm definitely not mad about an interception. I'm not.
I know you're not.
I'm just saying, going forward, do you feel comfortable that every team you play is eventually going to throw the ball 3 yards over a receiver in the red zone, and you're going to get the ball back that way? So you're cool letting teams own time of possession and march down the field on you, because at some point,
cool is a step too far because they're not happy about it. They just can't do anything about it.
I'm not even blaming players on that. Like, I've said it before. Like, I'm not, and I wouldn't question or doubt Tony White's shit. Like, I get it. I just don't understand why there's not a mixture. I understand they like to have that cushion and keep things in front of them and play up, and everybody gang tackles, runs to the ball. But we can't mix in some man. We can't mix in some tighter coverage. We can't mix in trying to force the interception instead of like containing 8 to 12 yard passes, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just again, it's not a huge critique. It's just, to me, it's like,
I don't think we're there yet.
Like,
where
we're
we're
some of the aggressiveness
good
in the secondary, and the only aggressiveness I feel like we have is on the front.
Among like potatoes,
With
but who's got
blitzes
better
or
corn?
different
Nebraska,
disguises that are
Iowa,
blitzes or
players.
shit like that. I just don't feel like there's a ton of aggressiveness at the top.
They just had a run play to start this drive. Nebraska did. It's second
You're
down.
going to allow 3-man.
Bro, our last stream,
Yeah.
and we were not even trying to do a long stream. Last game's stream was almost 5 hours.
Oh, I don't doubt
it. Was 4:55, dude.
I felt like it was 8. My ass and my back were like, all right, we're done with this chair.
Yeah. I've been thinking about there's this chair, and it's expensive, but you can make monthly payments on it. I'm thinking about getting it, bro. It's got like heat, cooling, massage. Ugh, it looks so good. But it's like, I want to say like $1,300 or something like that. You know? It's for an executive like you.
Wow.
But a peon like me wouldn't mind. You know? Aeon must be ballin', says $1,300 ain't expensive. Well,
he said that's all he has in his living room.
He's just got a bunch of those.
Threw the sectional away. He made a sectional out of those because they were
so cheap. So cheap compared to his sectionals.
Because he's frugal like that.
Mm-hmm. Flex Your Freedom says, I pet Adrian Martinez's hair 2 years ago when they played Colorado.
How was it?
Was he wasn't with the Huskers 2 years ago, right? It's been longer than that.
I think it was 3.
3, right? Yeah. 3. Aeon said, nah, office chairs at work are like $3,300. Really?
Where's work?
Seriously.
He works at a massage place. The massage chairs that lay back.
Yeah.
Zero gravity.
Living in Omaha, David Matney with a $5 donut. Thank you. David said, appreciate you guys doing the stream. Very entertaining. Thank you. Hey, man. We are entertained by you.
By yous guys.
Okay? But thank you, man.
Guys. Always with yous guys.
Yeah, Cody, he was in love with him. He was in love with him, but Verducci didn't know what the hell he was teaching him.
Harry Potter?
He's saying Frost was in love with Adrian.
Wow.
No. Here we go. We back.
Was able to walk off the field. So we had the stoppage, and so we restart here. First down and 10 for Nebraska. And Dylan Raiola handing it off to Dante Dowdell, who gets upended by Tucker Langenberg.
As a Bears fan, you remember we had kicking issues like crazy with our double doinks, with Parkey, and then we ended up grabbing Eddie Pinheiro, who was pretty decent, and then he got injured. But then we brought in Cairo Santos, he was with the Chiefs, but he got a groin injury and he missed like 4 field goals in one game. So they cut him. Year later, we pick him up, and I don't think he's missed in like 500 attempts as a Bear, bro. He's like our new Robbie Gould. I want that for us, man. Where are the Alex Henrys? Where are the Chris Browns? Where are the Gary Mensons?
I'd rather just score touchdowns every possession, not worry about field goal kickers.
But don't you think we're going to need the field goals in the Big Ten? In the Big Ten play?
Don't worry about Big Ten play, Gabe. Just worry about this game.
Yeah, this is the one game you can look ahead from, okay?
You sure?
You should be able to.
Because every time I compare what's happening in this game to what's going to be coming ahead in the Big Ten, there's a lot of shut your bitch ass up and enjoy.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. Oh, okay.
From you.
Oh, well, you outed me. Junk says 3-0 against Cupcakes. So, look, it's been a minute since we've gone 3-0 against Cupcakes. In fact, last year, them Cupcake Colorado Buffaloes even beat us soundly. We were so bad. So let's just take this one year at a time.
Now, you said Cupcake, and I think what you meant to say was top
flight.
Who holds the Cornhuskers all
top flight security?
All-time record
carries
in one game.
You gotta take a guess with Mike Rozier. I think is where I'm gonna go.
I don't know.
Maybe go way back to Roger Craig back in the day.
A quarterback.
What do you think? Somewhere in the middle, or those two?
I'm gonna go Eric Crouch.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to.
Awesome, by the way.
I tried to.
I could honestly see it being Amir Abdullah.
And you got it?
No, he wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
I think Abdullah had some. Maybe Amon Green.
There's just been so many fullbacks, running backs, and quarterbacks around. I'm not even gonna guess. Unless I look it up.
Oh man, that was a mistake.
Okay, now the defense can't give up a first down. This needs to be a safety.
Sergio Morency trying to make a play, and it nearly cost him a possession.
And just the timing's not right.
Why wouldn't he just
betwixt his legs?
Go out of bounds. Either can go out of bounds or
give him credit.
To run out right, but they take as much time as they
Williams
could.
90, I think. Who'd you say?
Yeah, you're right. It was 97. Yeah, it might not be
the
Williams.
yellow number. That's the play clock. Fourth quarter coming up.
What
All
number
right,
is
that'll
Judy?
take us into the fourth. Man. I know it sounds crazy, but I thought he was 16 on defense. I know that doesn't sound like it would be his, but I don't know. 28-3, Gary. Not good enough?
God, no. This is what we had. This exact score we had at this point in the Colorado game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I felt like we dominated in that game. Well, for the most part in that game.
27. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe that just means that Colorado's on par, because Colorado had trouble with not a major team, and then now we're putting them away at the same rate that we did another FCS team. Like maybe that's just what we look like against FCS competition. And UTEP not far off because they're in such a massive rebuild. So maybe we need to just slow down a little bit.
Slow down on what?
Thinking that we're ready for the big time. Right? Friday's going to tell everything against Illinois. Not everything.
Tell everything. I think it can expose them or bring Husker fans collectively and even a lot of the media that wants Nebraska to be back down to reality. But I think you could look good against Illinois, or maybe not even look good enough, get a win, and then
What up, Sassy?
You're still going to have your first road game after that.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Ohio State coming, and then you've got you got to go to USC. I think we got UCLA at home. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely exciting, man. Like, I don't feel like here we go again, or can they get a little hot streak later because we got off to such a shitty start like we've done the last few years, losing every home opener. So, I mean, it's definitely an exciting time. It's just tough to gauge where they're really at based on the competition, and then, you know, second halves of basically all three games haven't looked very good.
I mean, guy, we've seen a lot of college football in our time.
How'd you come up with this idea, man?
For the light show?
Yeah, it's one of the smartest things you've done.
I was just spitballing. They, you know.
Yeah.
After this light show, man, this is awesome.
You're like, I got all this extra gas laying around. We should do like
pyrotechnic show.
Play some music with it. Everybody's got a cell phone. Just haven't turned their flashlight on.
You guys can affect the game. Let's get some music here that'll get the players, you know, let's get some high beats per second. Let's get the crowd going.
What was so amazing about that, to your point, like, I'm watching the players during the light show, and they're enjoying it. It's not like they're huddled up with their position groups. I'd imagine Matt Rule is saying, enjoy every moment, and now go play this 3-3-5 defense under Tony White.
Huskers challenge 5th-ranked Michigan State. Live coverage at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network.
I'd like a touchdown, bro. Do you even bring Raiola out?
Probably not.
We want it all.
To.
We want beards and lattes.
Would you?
My heart is telling me bring him out, and my mind is telling me don't.
But your body,
my body's telling me don't. Just don't.
I mean, don't do that.
Could you imagine getting him injured up 27-3 versus UNI just because you didn't like that you didn't score enough? That's silly talk.
That's what I was saying. The defense is, they're not getting off the field like I'd like, but I mean, keeping them practically scoreless other than that debacle first drive is like, I don't think anybody
I got a hell of a silver lining.
In the world is worried about them making a 24-point comeback. Let's hear your silver lining, sir, which I'm guessing is more platinum and diamond encrusted lining, but let's hear it.
I got a diamond encrusted lining for this game. So the Huskers were definitely feeling like they were on top of the world, the players. Their egos were probably, I'm not chastising them for this. This is just natural. You're a young man. Your ego's going to raise a little bit after beating Colorado and stuff. Having a game like this, I think this is a very teachable game for Rule. We'll see if that ends up helping the team, but this is a very teachable game. You can go win. This is a win in which all ears will be on. Will like Rule will have all ears, and they will be understanding, hey, we didn't play a good game. There are things we need to change. Like, we still have, like, if they had blown them out 45-3, I think they might be a little cocky going into Illinois. They are not going to be cocky going into Illinois, dude. Rule's going to be able to wrangle that. What's up?
Can the old curmudgeon come rushing in with his ice-cold wet blanket?
Get ready, everybody.
Isn't this the third game in a row that's a very teachable moment with a win? UTEP arguably, but I mean, that second half didn't look great, but obviously you were going deep into your roster. I felt like, you know, I know a lot. I'm one of them. I think the calls in the second half of the Colorado game were horrible, but it's like, okay, but still.
Raiola's still out there.
0 points, gave up 10.
Dylan Raiola, deep shot. It is Lloyd, and it is intercepted.
Whose is it? How do you decide who gets that?
First turnover. So I'm with you. Like, you know, there's not much to debate here, but given all of that, after once Mike weighs in, I think it's probably ends the argument.
Well, it's a close case. Yeah, there you go.
So second down and 5 after the Pesic-Hickson 5-yard carry. Done.
Woo! Check on him.
That'll be a flag.
Check on Brody.
I love the flag comes in after the dude doesn't get up. You watch the play happen, and it's like, there's no reason to throw a flag. Oh, he's not getting up? Okay.
Was the man down? Sorry, Yogi, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the hit, right? I'd imagine we're looking at that here unless they saw some sort of hold. Runs a simple seam route. That's undercut by the defender, and there's a safety over the top.
You can see there's 2 players down on the field.
Appreciate you, Mike.
The flag is...
Appreciate all the information.
Personal foul. Targeting defense number 20.
Get after it, Mike.
That play is under further review.
Treat yourself right, too, you know.
Buford delivered the hit that's being reviewed. Now you can see on the left of your screen, Aiden Dunn is being helped off, and it's good to see Lane Pryor walking off as well. We'll be right back.
Man. We'll see what happened. I don't know.
First class of the day.
So before seeing the replay, I understand your frustration with the late call because clearly he didn't think it was in real time. And then he's like, "Oh, I might be wrong. Let me go ahead and throw this."
That's what it's become.
What did you see in real time?
I didn't think the play was over, and he came in. So I'm biased against all these rules, obviously. Like, I'll admit that. But the other thing is, to me, and I could be wrong on my interpretation of it, is you have to intentionally try to take somebody out using your helmet or intentionally put a forearm on their head or something to like try to hurt them. Just because a guy's going down or the direction has changed and the angle you're coming in at full speed, keep in mind, and you hit awkwardly or not safe or in a bad way, that doesn't mean you all of a sudden midway through had ill intent or intended on targeting or hurting somebody doing whatever. Right. So like, I understand they can look bad and be bad the way they end up unfolding in a play, but asking when you don't know and you have to go look at a camera and replay to determine what it was, you think this dude that's running a 4.4 tackling a dude that's running a 4.3, they have time in the middle of balls to the wall going as fast as they can 100% at each other is going to go, oh, I better change my angle of trajectory here because my head was over and his head was up, but he would like, what are we doing, man? Like if you try to hurt somebody, cool, call it. Or if it's like a deliberate whatever, but like when it's still in the middle of a play or he doesn't know if the guy's got the ball, he's going down, he's already coming in. And obviously the ref didn't think it was initially. They're scared because it's like, well, I can't miss these or I'm going to get in trouble because it's all about safety, even though we still let guys go over the middle on cross routes, slants in front of safeties. If they really cared about safety, you would eliminate those routes that'll get guys mowed down. You would eliminate letting running backs, when they're about to get hit, put the crown of their helmet, which is the big no-no, right? We always talk about the crown of the helmet. They always put the crown of their helmet right into the guy who's about to tackle him. And then if he's already down trying to tackle with his shoulder and the crown of that running back's helmet hits his, he gets thrown out for targeting. Like, they don't care about that. They're trying to extend, they're trying to make sure that the plays are there for offense to keep the high scores, the other shit going, is my opinion. So, no, I think it's horseshit. I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't hit him in the head or anything like that. I'm saying I don't think he came in and tried to.
Chihuahua. That was a bad hit.
His helmet hits the side of his helmet.
Yeah, it just looked really bad. We got
yeah, for sure, it's bad.
We got a dono. Jeff, I'll read that here right after this play on third down.
The head area. But to me, it's not the attacking that you have to have as one of the indicators.
It's for safety.
I agree with.
But there's no rules adjusted on the offensive.
And meanwhile, the 2 players were injured on that play. Lane Pryor walked off. Aiden Dunn, the starting quarterback, needed help to be carried off the field.
All right, so we got $10 dono from Jeff. Says, appreciate the stream from Nashville. GBR, not a great showing. Yeah, it's not the showing we wanted.
But the good news, man, usually if we didn't have, even if we had good showings, we'd lose games. Well. So if we can have bad showings or not great showings and still win games,
big.
Good catch.
Nope.
That's tough, man. That's
played a really tough game today.
Are we going to put Raiola out here again?
I don't know, but that's a big special teams player. It's going to go on.
Stanford in a marquee top 5 showdown. Women's volleyball Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Only on the Big
He could
Ten
have easily bubbled that.
That is a massive.
Bubbled it.
He could have let it go all the way back to where they had the 5. He knew he was going to take a hit because of how late the ball's getting to him.
8 times.
Hung on to it. That's good.
And we went last night to the Vandy Center. You had yourself a heck of a time.
That was a great time. That vibe, that energy. Not as many people, but the similar vibe as we're seeing here in Memorial Stadium.
It was awesome. They had 90,000 plus here last year.
Harburg?
In this building.
No. He's so funny looking though.
They keep changing the number rules every 2 years, 3 years there.
And they took the starters out, and this is what you want. You know,
yeah,
we have a lot of depth that I trust playing, but also they deserve it. And you're actually like protecting your starters. It's win-win. It's win-win-win. You know, but it'd be fun to watch Raiola play more and throw more, but can't risk him.
So. Weird question. I'm reading through the chat here. People talking. We beat Colorado 28-10, right? Things keep going. We should win this. What, 34-3? Is that what it is? Yeah. Do you feel which game do you feel was harder for Nebraska?
Of the 3?
No, between this game and Colorado.
This game.
I do too.
Ugh. I feel like they out-physical Nebraska on specific drives. I feel like this UNI team would beat Colorado. Or could give them a run. They could give them a run. Because they could run the ball all over Colorado, and Colorado wouldn't be able to run the ball against them.
I don't know. They couldn't really get to Raiola. If you can't get to Shedeur, no, they wouldn't. Because the receivers would pick them apart. But yeah, I mean, if they could get to Shedeur, maybe, but
I just think they could ground and pound enough to make it a scary game. Probably not a win, though.
Yeah, I don't think Colorado could stop them. I think they'd definitely put more than a field goal on them.
Yeah. They would have got in the end zone like you were sure was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I am excited to get back to Tennessee. That's how new they are. Kennesaw State.
I'm excited for this game to get over so I can watch some uninterrupted commercials. I want to watch the rest of those fights, but God damn. This is brutal.
Yeah, Jared, it is a great game before Big Ten. Because this is what they going to do.
I think it's what they needed, man.
Nice little wake-up call. Remind them you're not the shit yet.
Well, not just that, but put some shit on film that you can coach them on of what they're going to see that needs work. It's one thing to think, we're probably going to need to work on run stopping, gap integrity, and wrapping up and not diving at people's ankles. Like,
spent time with the Steelers the last couple
you're
years.
sitting in a meeting room and you see you on screen in front of everybody diving at a dude's feet, and he steps to the side and goes.
What do you need to win? Facilities,
or the running back runs by you, or an alignment blows you up, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, gives you some tangible shit to work on instead of just talking about it. You actually see what you got to work on.
They had some holes tonight. They weren't perfect, guys, but
3rd and 5.
feels like Nebraska is
3rd and 5.
Third down here for Northern Iowa. Illinois won decisively today over Central.
Drop back over the middle, Andy.
Good defense.
Yeah, is that Charles? That's Charles, baby.
Jeremiah.
Holy cow, he is skinny.
The top team receiving votes that was not in the top 25.
That's what I was saying earlier. You see, all you young folks, people talk for an hour, and you take the 3 minutes that you chose to focus on and run with that.
Well, it worked out for me in the end. There's no question what I was saying early ended up, We did get what I was hoping for. Yeah. Still keeping them to 3.
Yep.
But I do understand. It's weird when you're in the moment and you're watching a smaller, weaker, less recruited team push you down the field. Because that's all the Big Ten is, man. Not
right,
telling
but
you
like
anything you don't know. But.
To go against what you guys think I'm saying, which I'm not. I'm talking things out as I'm thinking things. But anyways, let's say Illinois is twice the team UNI is. Does that mean we beat Illinois 17-6? We'd all be fine with that, right?
Totally.
I'm watching this game trying to gauge, okay, this is going to be a new style of game compared to the first 2 games. And with the hype that's around Colorado, I told you before that game started, I didn't think that game meant shit. I don't think the rivalry is anything. It used to be a rivalry. In my mind, that's not a rivalry game anymore. Whatever. They got to hype and gas everything up. They'll always be Nebraska's little brother, especially now that we're not in the same conferences playing each other for real stuff. But when you go back that long run, they like to go, we won 3 in a row. Okay, cool. We won like 12 in a row at one point and way more titles, both conference and national than you, whatever. I don't want to dwell on that. But like that game, you take Dion and the hype and his, Hunter and Shador and all that out of it. That's a nothing game. That's maybe a slight step up just because of the skill positions from UTEP. So like I didn't feel like we were really getting to learn the full scope of this team. And I didn't think this team was going to be good enough to do that either, but it would give us a different look, like an opposing view, right? Like instead of these spread or deep threat offenses and pretty porous, non-existent in a lot of areas defenses, you'd at least have some good trench play, a smash mouth style, try to ground and pound and grind the clock out type game. And that's what they got. And so you're just kind of gauging or reading it is all I'm saying. Like, it's fine the way it turned out. It's just not, you got to dial down the hype from acting like the Colorado win was big. Being ranked 23rd is big when you factor in how many top 25 teams lost. So it's, I don't know, man. Like, I think it was a good game to really gauge, to put into a more clear scope where Nebraska's at and to give them that other look before going into Big Ten play.
Guys, welcome into Big Red Rant post-game show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Fun game, a little bit frustrating. If anyone figures out before I do that Matt Rule is live, please let me know in the chat and I can pull that up for us. I'm keeping an eye on it. Gary, could you answer some questions while I make one more return to the little girl's room?
What questions? I don't answer.
Pull the chat up, you old boomer.
Answers to questions. Like, who the hell am I? I'm over here vomiting my stupid opinions. I thought that's what we were all doing.
We'll just give him a little chit chat.
Well, give a little jib jab. Start at the top. I can see this. Living in Omaha now. Thank you, man. Take it easy. Never been a rivalry. You talking about Colorado? That was a rivalry for a while. We had the Big 8 and Big 12 together. Patriot no jab. They could give up 800 yards, but if the other team don't score, defense did. You're 100% right. I wasn't disputing any of that. It's just, it drives me nuts. It's a personal, my problem thing. I didn't mean to project it as they got to fix this. It just bothers me when I see guys dinking and dunking underneath, and it's like, goddamn, be aggressive and get up there. But that dude's going to be considered for a lot of head coaching jobs, and I'm going to be sitting here for a real reason. All this pessimism in the comments, no, because for sure, I don't know. That can't just look at how a team wins. You have to study what a team does to lose. Well, hopefully it's a long time before we have anything that we can study on how we lost the game. The Illinois game will tell a lot, but Colorado beat Colorado State. Yeah. Gabe and I were watching a little bit of Colorado highlights the other night. I'm going to go back and watch all of their games at least a time or two. Honestly, I'm not very impressed with them. I had this idea in my head they were a lot better than when I actually was watching a lot of the plays, and I was like, they're not. I don't know. They're persistent. I think they're gonna. If shit doesn't work a time or two, they're not going away from it. They'll keep doing what they do, and it's going to be a resiliency and a physicality issue with them in Nebraska. But I think overall, Nebraska should handle Illinois pretty easily. I'm not too worried about Illinois.
With Illinois, like, they definitely have some – dude, they've got a couple of receivers that –
They got talent.
It reminds me of how Colorado thought we didn't have talent until they saw it. I wouldn't have expected them to have such good wide receivers, but dang it, they do. Okay, so they've got some flashy talent that'll make your eyes perk, but they make mistakes, man. They make bonehead mistakes that if we can just capitalize on a couple of them, should be Gucci.
Yeah, and if Nebraska, this was the worst tackling game for Nebraska, I think, of the first three, and I know that's going to be a point of emphasis for sure. Even with not giving up a touchdown, only giving up one field goal, that's not going to go well, because that's one of the foundational pieces that Rule has tried to instill as his basis for this program and the culture and everything, and it is being like the physicalness. That's a huge part of it. And he mentioned it at halftime about they were the more physical team. They're missing tackles. Like, that's going to be a huge, I guarantee you, when the chasing three going up to Illinois week comes out, you're going to hear a lot about the defense getting ripped for their lack of physicality and tackling, especially in that first half. So I'm not too worried about that. Like, we've seen what they can do and how good, and then, it is somewhat sloppy, and hard as it was for them to get off the field, they gave up one field goal. So like I said, I know it comes off because I'm just pretty monotone and I'm slow and groggy when I talk and all that, but it's like, it's not always negative, just like making observations. Like, I'd like to see him get off the field on third downs, and like that can be a bigger problem against better teams. But you look at this score, let's say Illinois is twice the team this is. All right, give them another field goal. I mean, obviously that's not how it works, but this is how my stupid brain works. So go to your next one. What were you saying?
Altmaier today, Illinois' quarterback versus the Chippewas, had 242 yards, 19 of 29, 2 tuds, no interceptions. They had 2 running backs go for 54 and 53 yards, and then a third running back go for 25. So they got over $125 between 3 different running backs. Altmaier, not really any rushing yards there. Bryant went for 102. That's might be I was thinking it was going to be Franklin, because Franklin looks really nice, but Bryant's the other receiver that the Huskers are going to really have their hands full with, bro. And apparently their running game is kind of well spread out too, so anything can happen. I mean, what do you think is going to happen versus Illinois if you had to decide early now without doing any more research?
I think Nebraska wins double digits. I'd say we win by the 14-17 range. And I'm allowing myself the ability to change that once I get into them a little more and watch some of their other games. But from what we were watching the other night, and I don't know.
We haven't watched this Central Michigan game, though.
I saw a chunk of it this afternoon, but I don't feel like Illinois has the athletes on the back end of the defense that we do. And I don't think they're as physical on the front line of the defense as we are. And I think we're multiple dimensions available to us on offense that they don't have. I think they're very basic pass and try to get creative with the run, but want to run more often than not. Kind of like these guys.
But they're better.
Yeah. I would hope so.
They should be a much better version of this. So that's why I'm shocked that you said a double-digit lead.
How much better than you and I do you think they are? Because they're pretty similar. I don't want to get too they're the same team.
They're
I'm not
better,
saying
bro.
That, they're similar.
I think they're
100% they're better. I'm saying how much better.
I think if this was, if we showed up like we showed up today against them, I think they could put up 28 against us.
You think Illinois can hang 28 on Nebraska? I mean, it's fine if you do.
Maybe. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. If we played like we did today, where you could just push us around. Illinois cashes in on a couple of touchdowns.
If Northern Iowa could have kept pushing Nebraska around, they wouldn't have scored 3.
Also, yeah, Aeon, we couldn't run. Cornman, what up, bro? He said tackling wasn't very good.
No, that was the biggest issue in my opinion.
Tackling was. Somebody.
I don't know that Nebraska couldn't run. I thought they were doing very basic running schemes early on to keep throwing. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'll watch this again. I was doing shit on here, and I always feel like I can't stop and rewatch plays and stuff. But to me, just on the surface, after watching that once, I felt like
real man's talking. Real man's talking. All right.
So not a lot of punt work tonight for Buschini.
It was a 59-yard pass from Dillon to Jalen. He kind of shakes 3 and then kind of looks back. What did you think of that, of just his skill set on that play and his awareness to look so quickly back to see if Jalen was there?
Well, that's the same play we ran last week. That the kind of the play that everyone made. Was kind of a highlight reel play that he threw on the run. So that's a play where we roll right, but then we throw a post back left. You have to have an elite athlete like Jalen to do that. And so they blitzed off the edge. And so that's not the right play for that defense. So they called the right defense. But, I've noticed a lot, even in the first game, he's done a great job of always avoiding the first rusher. When people come free, he does a good job of, finding space and time and making the throw. But, he knew that that's where to go, especially with pressure. He knows he's going to flatten it. And Jalen was right where he's supposed to be.
Did you see that in him through the offseason, that he was going to have that, that ability to have that sense of where the pass rush was coming from and the mobility to avoid a guy in a situation like that?
Yeah, I think, when people have asked me what makes him special, I say that he's not a 7-on-7 quarterback. He likes the game part of it. Even the short yardage play, that's what, J.J. McCarthy was doing in Michigan last year, handing out the fullback dive, they come out tight, they pull it every once in a while, and he pulled it, so he just knows when to make the right play.
We're a quarter away through the season. What do you love? What do you hate?
I don't know about that. I like being 3-0. There's nothing that I hate. We're just going to get better each week. We start Big Ten play. I kind of refer to this as the preseason. In my mind, we're learning how to win. As I told our team, the narrative of losing close games comes from trying to, when you get a lead, not trying to put the game away. And so the questions I get asked a lot are about hey, why aren't you guys doing more of this in the second half? Well, that's what led to a lot of close losses, right? So we want to score, get a lead if we can, play defense and run the football. And then I want everyone to say, why are you guys so boring in the fourth quarter? And then we win. And that's sincere. So I just make sure my team hears that because they're kind of like that. That being said, we wanted to be aggressive a while because this was a good night for us to work on our passing game. And that's why we threw that post at the end. It was there. We thought we had it. Sounds like their kid made a play. I thought we came down with it, but we didn't. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think I'll watch the tape to see exactly where we are. It felt like early on we didn't tackle as well as we normally do, and but I did like the energy the defense came out with in the second half. That had all the makings of one of those games where if you're not locked in the second half, they score a touchdown. All of a sudden, it looks like a game you're in control of. You're not, and what we're trying to do is control games. Control games. That's what good teams do. So I felt some of that tonight.
Carter Nelson had 4 catches, 48 yards, gets in the end zone for the first time as a Husker. Just can you speak to his growth to get to this point of having arrived in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, Carter's like I said, this is his third game playing with 22 people in the field. So I mean, he's growing, and he had a couple little packages for him. 2 of them got called early, which was great. One was the red zone call, which is like an option route, and he won on the option and scored. Through the middle screen to him. So, I think the sky's the limit for the things that he can do. They're doing a good job of bringing him along, slowly in my mind. And when I say slowly, in terms of giving him tasks to master, because he wasn't here in the spring. But tonight was a tough night to get the ball spread out to everybody, going back to the whole 48 plays. You have all these guys you want to get the rock to, but it's a good thing when, you throw a ball to Jalen, he changes, flips the field. And, they had a penalty that gave us some yardage as well, so.
What was your? How did you feel about getting the package for Heinrich in down there near the goal line, and what did you think of the way that executed?
Yeah, we put it in. We put it in. He was in on the screen to Carter. He was in at tailback on that too. So, I think there's a lot of things that we want Heinrich to be able to do, and he does. Every time he goes in, we don't want him just to be like, a wildcat quarterback, right? I thought what I was really pleased with Heinrich was when he got in at quarterback, the way he managed that third down, finding the check down was awesome. And, they were bringing a lot of zero blitz. He checked, they checked, he reloaded it on the long touchdown run. But, yeah, we'd like to get a little bit more out of the quarterback run part of it. But I'll be honest with you, Mitch, one thing I've learned, every time we put a quarterback run on tape, another team has to practice it. And so they don't have to necessarily work. I just have to chew up 20 minutes of their time each day worrying about option and worrying about those things. Because we can run all the options with Heinrich. We can get under center still and run belly G option, right? We can do all that. And so I need them practicing that because that's one less time that they're practicing the other stuff that we're doing.
What did Emmett show you this week in practice that got him an earlier chance, and then did he take another step in the game with his big plays?
Yeah, we wanted Emmett to be the third down back this week. We felt like he would do a good job in the protections and getting out and catching the football. We're trying to diversify some of the roles. We didn't have a ton of third downs. We were kind of not necessarily needing the third downs. And then that run at the end was great. One thing about Emmett that's happened, last year and this year is he's kind of like been a closer in some games, right? Whether it was Northwestern last year or Purdue, or I can't remember if the games started to run together for me. But even, Maryland, Wisconsin, he had long runs that put us in position to at least try to win those games. And so he's a guy that comes in the fourth quarter, a change of pace, makes people miss. And that was a big-time run for us.
Micah was out, and I don't think Jamari played. What was their status tonight?
Yeah, Jamari just is still sore from last week. So we got him ready to play. He was warmed up. And, we were going to start Cam. So he was kind of questionable. And then kind of got out there and just didn't have the same pop. I just was worried that if I played him, he might get hurt. And so we feel good about James and Keona. He just didn't have the burst that we thought he would. He was trending. Practiced a little bit on Tuesday. Practiced a little bit. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. So I thought he'd be able to go. And if he needed to, he probably would have gone. But this was a unique week in that it was a short week as well. We're on in Big Ten play on Friday, so being able to save him, not need him, was probably important. And then Mike, I'll probably address that later. It's just coach's decision. He's still with us. He just didn't play tonight.
How prepared is this team now for Big Ten play, and how nice has it been to have the 3 home games and just to kind of build your team here in Lincoln versus on the road?
I think one of the key things, Sean, is getting a lot of guys in the game. Even at the end, you have Maverick Noonan, you have Ishmael Smith Flores, you have Amari Sanders, you have all these guys out there playing meaningful minutes. You had your whole second line playing meaningful minutes, and so that to me, that's been really good. That with 2 of the 3 games, we've been able to get the 2s and some of the 3s into the game. You never know. You never know when it comes to conference play. You never know where you are till you get there, right? And so, some teams blow out some teams. Some teams, play other teams closer. It's really, even when you look at stats, I don't. When I look at the Big Ten, I only look at Big Ten versus Big Ten stats. I don't look at even the non-con stats. The Big Ten puts out like their Big Ten only stats because we have to see kind of where we are with each other. So, I'm anxious for Friday night. I'm anxious, that they're a good team. I think they'll probably end up being ranked. Hopefully we stay ranked. And I don't know the last time two ranked teams played each other. I think they were 26 last week in the AP poll. I'm a big fan of Coach Bielema. So hopefully they move up and be a cool night on this coming Friday night.
Can you talk about just dealing with the short week heading into conference play and just preparation for that?
Yeah, well, last year we were going in this game, we just lost to Michigan, and we put on pads and practiced on Sunday, so maybe a little different tenor this week. But, even there, as I was walking out, Marquise Buford was making it very clear to everybody, we're coming in here tomorrow ready to work. Normally Sunday's our off day. We do a big family dinner with the players' families and our families. We won't be able to do that tomorrow. It'll be a work day for us, and our off day this week will be next Saturday. So we'll work tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The great thing is we're not traveling. Our Friday game is, obviously at the end of the season versus Iowa. But we'll work tonight. We'll work tomorrow. Because it was a night game, I had a chance to watch their game today. We worked some today, worked some yesterday to be prepared for Illinois, and we'll see what happens.
Coach Jacory, after so many big plays have gotten called back over the first couple games, and finally finds the end zone. What was that moment like, just getting to see him score?
Yeah, I fired up for him. I thought that was a heck of a call by Sat. Calling a reverse on the 12, I wouldn't do that. I'm a little more conservative, but and I thought Borgacher did a great job. Came around and made a big block for him, and great to see Jacory get in. And when he plays with joy. And it was great, great to see the review kind of go our way. That was a big call, when he, they had called him down the field, and then And then, they ruled that he was behind the line. I appreciate the Big Ten for changing that one. So, Jacory's a weapon. He had that deep over that we hit early on. So keep trying to find ways to get him the ball.
Interception by Dylan. Obviously challenged it. What did you think of that play? I mean, do you want to make the throw?
That's the right throw. Yeah, that's 100% the right throw. I mean, it's quarters, the safety triggers. We try to throw the out route to Thomas. He triggers it. You throw the post. That's one-on-one. The thing with Dylan is you're going to play NFL football with him. Like if he's going to throw the ball to a spot and he's expecting his guys to go make a play on the ball, and I thought Jalen made the play on the ball, so I'm not in any way throwing Jalen on the bus. Looks like their kid made a play. But if we don't put those things on tape, that we'll throw the post first quarter. It's just going to be a long year. We had that conversation. I think Sam had asked it the other day about, Iowa and all this. You have to hit those posts, and their kid made a nice play. I challenged it because I learned last year. We had 3 or 4 plays that the next day, hey, the replay was wrong, and so what I learned was you can challenge the replay. So as I looked at it up on the screen, it looked like Jalen came down with the ball, so I was at least going to challenge it. I didn't need the timeout. It wasn't a wasted timeout. They told me that, hey, they've already cleared it, but I was told last year you can still challenge it, and you should still challenge it if you think it's wrong. So I challenged it and didn't win. All right. See you guys Friday.
Well, we should have Raiola coming up here any second now. We'll give that a second. Don't have to cut back to Gary. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll just keep the audio up. We'll know. Gary? Any thoughts on your boy?
No.
Matt Rule?
No.
I liked his explanation about why he called the timeout. I feel like
What timeout?
Well, sorry, the challenge of Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured it was. It was like, you don't really need the timeout, so you just kind of like, maybe. And you were kind of right. It did look like his knee was down, and you didn't know who had possession of the ball.
Yeah. I thought Lloyd clearly had it in the air. It's just a matter of when it switched.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he ripped it out of his hands, but it was like, was he down first or
Carter Nelson?
No?
I saw that I got him squared up, so I know that I was supposed to post it, and to be able to get that wide open, it was like really good job by the other wide receivers because they pulled the middle backers and everything out. So Dylan put a great ball on me, and then I saw it wide open, so it was awesome.
You probably dreamed about that a long time.
Yeah, no, being able to do that and just being able to do it with those guys kind of just made every dream come true real quick there. So.
Special that it happened here at home.
Yeah, no, being able to do that here, like knowing that all my family here, a lot of friends, and like I said, being able to do it with those teammates I've grown really close with was just amazing.
What do you think of just the offensive efficiency, the first 3 drives? They had that long drive in between, but you responded right back.
Yeah, no, we had the ball rolling. Being able to just keep imposing our will of being able to move the ball and everything. We did a really good job tonight of that and being able to move forward. I hope that we can just continue to grow on that.
How do you feel about this 3-game kind of introduction to college football that you've gotten, and what do you feel about your readiness now to move into the Big Ten?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. I think that we've got a lot of stuff we still need to improve on, of course, but we've got a lot of stuff that we can build off of too. We got to do better with our 2-minute. We didn't execute on that today, so being able to do that down the road is going to be important for us. So being able to take the things that we've done good and bad, kind of just learn off both.
How about you individually? I mean, it's quite an adjustment what you've made, the jump from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel like you're ready for another level of physicality, intensity that comes next week?
I feel like it's been growing, and it's been coming along really well. Coach G and the other wide receivers really have done like a really good job of like just helping me out through that. And I still don't think like I'm ready in some aspects, of course, but that's because like I just haven't had that experience, and that's why it's great to be able to practice against the guys we practice against, because being able to go up against our defense is awesome because we get a lot like really good looks. So
Ja'Cory got in the end zone for the first time too. Have you developed a little bit of a kinship with him as two true freshmen playing?
Oh yeah, no, he's awesome. I love him. We definitely got really hyped for each other, so that was awesome.
Now going into Big Ten play, can you talk about dealing with the short week for that first game?
Mm-hmm. Being able to get our bodies right and everything quick and being able to prepare is like the main goal right now, coming in tomorrow, and just really make sure we're more prepared than anyone else is.
Anything else for Carter?
I mean, you got multiple receivers on the game, over 30 yards. Just what have you liked about this receiver group, and what's special about them?
The great thing for me is being able to learn from those older guys. We got a couple older guys that have like played a lot of snaps, and so being able to learn from them. And the great thing is how much they help me. Like it's not a receiver room where they're worried about getting their catches. Like after every single play, I got one of them coming up to me and coaching me, and so that's something that's really important to me. And it's like just really special. It kind of just shows the bond that we have, and we help make each other better. So it's been awesome.
All right, thank you, Carter.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Got a question for you on Carter. So Matt Rule before the year said he's just too good, and we can't get him in there at tight end right now. So we're going to play him at wide receiver because we got to play him. He's so good.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Coleman? Shouldn't the same thing have been said about Coleman?
Where do you move him?
Yeah. But if you can move a tight end to play wide receiver, did he not just essentially move a tight end into a spot that could have been Malachi's? I mean, is Carter Nelson that much better than Malachi is what I'm asking?
Well, he gives you a lot more of a physical presence with the athleticism. Not just the long.
Is that true? I mean, because Malachi's strength was run blocking and being physical, and he's a specimen. He's also 6'4", 6'5".
But I don't know about the physicality as much.
What
like
maybe did your defense
size,
do better in the second
target,
half
and speed. Yeah.
Maybe lacking.
All right, hold on.
Getting to the ball, making some tackles, doing our assignment better. We was in cover 2 right there. So what I just seen the quarterback roll out, and then I seen the receiver come from the other side running the over route. Then that's when I made the play. He overthrew the ball, and that's something he shouldn't do.
What did you think of the tackling tonight from the defense? What did you think of the tackling tonight from the defense?
Yeah, I feel like tonight it wasn't our best tackling job in the first half, and we had to go in and talk about some things, get that better. Coming out in the second half, we made our improvements on that, but it was just our mistakes. It wasn't them.
What do you think about how this defense is playing through 3 games?
I feel like we're playing good. As a team, we all came together. We coming to the ball, making plays on the ball. We can do a good job, getting more turnovers because we have lots of opportunities where we can make turnovers. So I feel like that's something we can do going forward.
Was there anything you had to adjust to, or you talked about after that first series where they had it like 16 plays? That first drive.
No, it wasn't much adjustment. It was us. We had to make some tackles. We were just making careless mistakes on the tackles and stuff. So it wasn't too much that needed to be done. It was just us.
Hey, Malcolm, did you feel like the style of offense that they presented, that they showed out there, being like such a contrast from the first 2 opponents that you faced, is something that can help you moving into the next set of games?
Yeah, I feel like their style of play can help us. They run the ball, and we're going to see a lot of that, in the Big Ten. So they help prepare us for that, giving us a good look at that. And I feel like we're going to be ready for the upcoming teams.
And then, dealing with the short week going into Big Ten play, can you just talk about that in your preparation?
It's going to be the same thing, same process. We're just going to start it a day early. Tomorrow we'll go in, get ready for Illinois. Same process that we always do.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Whew, Friday night cannot get here fast enough. Gary. God, I can't wait. Because it's going to be a real test, man. almost as excited about Colorado, but there's no hatred there for Illinois. You know,
You hate Colorado?
yeah, yeah. I'm easy to manipulate emotionally. Okay, you twist my boy Adrian Martinez's knob and laugh about it. I'm gonna hate you for life.
Hate.
What do you got for us, Gary, at the end of this stream?
If you've got hate in your heart, let it out. That's usually my motto.
I've heard that before.
I don't know, man. Like I know you thought I was like shitting on the team the whole game, but I was just pointing out, in my opinion, the difference between how you look against pretty one-dimensional, pass-heavy, spread-type teams to what you're going to see. It kind of put a little bit more of an emphasis on that, for lack of a better term, bend but don't break defense. And it's like, you know how that makes me like lose my mind because I want everything to be so aggressive all the time. And I know that costs you and blah, blah, blah. But I think it was good, man. I think it was a good litmus test for that and gives you a new set of film to watch as far as style in what to prepare for and work on the defensive side. It just shows the growth of the team. You know, like I think if we would have missed tackles and had some of the offenses we've had the past few years, the defense would have been on the field even longer, probably eventually wore down, and you'd have found yourself in a close game going down the stretch. But, you know, the defense figuring out a way to get out of those drives a lot of the times and knowing or feeling pretty confident that the offense was going to go get you points just kind of kept that slight chance of any type of panic or anything else setting in. And it was kind of a non-factor. Like, I think that'll get overlooked in a way, but that's program wise, that's huge growth from the last few years. So I don't know, man. I'm not definitely not panicking or anything. It's just, it makes me feel like I gauged the team a little bit better than I was coming up to this game.
I thought we were probably great, and it turns out we're just good. But I'm okay with that. And we'll see if we can push that against a Big Ten opponent that's undefeated and looking good.
For sure.
It's going to be exciting.
Rule talked about that last week when he talked about you go from losing football to winning football to championship football. And I think I think that was a great analogy or a great, like, kind of, I don't know, mental picture to paint for people. And I think this game specifically kind of shows you might be on the high side, but you're definitely still on the winning side. You're not on that level yet, but as quick of growth as we've seen from last season to this season by adding a few players and, you know, just developing, who knows what they'll look like in a few weeks. You know what I mean? Especially if people can stay healthy and you can get wins, but still get shit on tape that you know you need to work on and can work on. It gives you some tangible things to coach and try to develop. That's kind of a win-win. You know, if you came out and beat the brakes off everybody, you'd have unrealistic expectations. And then when you lose to a team that you shouldn't, or an Ohio State or whatever, then
you misunderstand it as a team that you shouldn't, can't,
right,
couldn't lose to it. It's like, no, you're not seeing it clearly because, yeah,
it's still the process. It's not the end of the rainbow, so to speak. Like,
right.
They still got ways to go, but it's definitely on the right track and tracking the right direction.
I mean, you and I, we lost to SMU with Kennesaw State the other day, for God's sakes, people. Anything can happen in college football.
I think everybody was wondering about that.
Everyone was.
I've been getting texts and messages on Twitter and my MySpace page froze up because I was getting so many.
God bless
messages.
Any of you out there that are playing NCAA on Heisman like we are. That's all I'm saying. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Gary, you want to sing us away?
No, I'm good. Appreciate y'all.
Huskers win. See you guys next week.